assisted him.
Meyer out of the shotgun on second down and long, and now movement up front. And that time, I think the Hound Dogs might have jumped the gun just a little bit. One of the defensive linemen knocked over one of the Cubs' interior offensive linemen. Dead ball encroachment against the defense, so that'll give the Cubs 5 of those yards back. Still second and very, very long as the ball's moved out to about the 14-yard line. The Cubs come out with 5 wide receivers as Branch is the slot to the near sideline. Meyer out of the shotgun, and now movement against the Cubs, and they gave it right back, Leonard.
We may be here till midnight if this continues, Benji.
I'll tell you what, it's back and forth we go. The Cubs have now been whistled for 5 penalties, and we have played less than 3 minutes. Wow.
That's not a good average.
Not a good start, to say the least. However, the Cubs do lead it 6-0 on an early touchdown. They have it at their own 9-yard line, facing 2nd and 26. Meyer takes the snap, back to pass, under pressure, fires downfield for Turner, who makes a nice catch at the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 21.
Tremendous pass by Ian Meyer, but it was enough in front of Alex Turner that Alex had to leave his feet to catch the ball. But a good play, tremendous catch by Alex, brings up 3rd and a more manageable, about 6 yards, a long 6 for the Cubs.
Actually, an official gain of 20 on that catch, but it gives the Cubs a fighting chance here on 3rd down. From their own 29, the Cubs need to get to the 35 for a first. Here is the quarterback back to pass under pressure, and he's slung down for a sack back near the 15-yard line.
Number 4, Casey Weatherman with the sack, putting the Cubs in a rather difficult situation of having to punt deep in their own territory from their own 16-yard line.
A loss of 13 yards on the play, and the Cubs will have to kick it away here. The wind, negligible at this point, coming out of the east. And now the Cubs will kick it away from their own 16-yard line. A high snap. Howard kicks it away. It's a high tumbling kick that hits near the 40. It takes a Cubs bounce out across the 50 and to the Hound Dog 49. That's where Aurora have it 1st and 10.
Mason Swearingen was there to down the ball at that point, and the ball would go over to the Cubs.
Another flag, Leonard.
Oh, don't tell me that,
Procedure
Benji.
Against the Cubs.
And I'm sure the Hounds will accept it because that was a very effective punt.
Yeah, they'll take that because that was a victory for Mnett, getting the Hound Dogs back to midfield. Well, maybe not.
Oh, they're going to decline. A bird in hand.
Yes.
The old deal.
That's right. So Hound Dogs will take over. That kind of surprises me.
It does me also. But at the same time, on this wet, slippery night, at least they have the football now. They don't have to worry about a missed fair catch or something and fumbling the ball away.
35-yard punt, no return. The Hound Dogs have it for their 3rd series here early in the first quarter. Quarterback Evans out of the shotgun, taking it himself to the right, cuts it up with some nice hard running, picks up about 9 yards on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and short.
2 or 3 Cubs in on that tackle. The last one I saw getting up was Cody Thompson. I'm not sure who he had help from, but there were about 3 Cubs assisting, but a big gainer by the Aurora quarterback of 9 yards on 1st down. And no flag.
No flag. We made it through a play. Clock running inside 7 minutes left here in the first quarter. Hound Dogs face 2nd down and 1. Evans at quarterback turns and gives to Neff up the middle, and he is pounded down at the line of scrimmage. He might have lost a half a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
I could not see for sure who all was in on that play. I think that Coy Butterworth and Mason Swearingen were 2 of them in on that. But a great play of stopping the Aurora back without any gain. In fact, a loss of about a half yard. So it's 3rd and almost 2 for the Hound Dogs.
From the 42-yard line. Evans out of the shotgun, and there's movement both sides. Looked like the Cubs jumped first, then the Aurora Hound Dog offensive lineman moved as well.
We'll see how they call it. You're right. Both sides did move, but I don't know if the Cubs encroached before the Aurora lineman stood up or not.
This one may go against. Well, it's going to go
They're
against the
gonna call it
Cubs.
against the Cubs.
That'll give the Hound Dogs a first down.
It's getting a little bit ridiculous. In fact, a whole lot ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's time for the Cubs to settle down. We talked about the intensity of this rivalry and the excitement of these players, and they just can't quite contain it.
They cannot harness it at this point. 1st and 10 for the Hound Dogs from the 37-yard line. Peyton Evans at quarterback. Back to pass, throws over the middle, has his man inside the 30 to the 25, down to the 20, hit there and spun down after a big gain for the Hound Dogs. First down after the reception by Caleb Baker.
Cody Thompson on the tackle or the push out, he actually pushed the receiver out of bounds at about the 15, right? Or 16?
Right. I think about that. So it's a gain
Just
of
short of the
21.
Call it the 16-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Hounds, but a very effective play and a good play for them.
At the 16-yard line, Evans will work out of the shotgun. He takes the snap, throws near side, passes caught in the backfield, a broken tackle to the 10, 5, touchdown Aurora. Good effort there by Keaton Willard. Willard scores from 16 yards out.
Jed Anderson had a chance to stop him at about the 10-yard line. He literally ran over Jed and went into the end zone. A very good play for the Hound Dogs.
5:29 left here in the first quarter, and we're tied 6-6 with the PAT upcoming for the Hound Dogs. Snap back, ball down, the kick up. It's high enough, it's long enough, and it is good. So with 5:29 left here in the first quarter, it's Aurora 7 and mnett 6. Back with more action after this timeout.
The Mnett Cubs Athletic would like to invite you to become part of this season's Cub Pride Catch the Spirit membership drive. Athletic programs serve as the window to the people and community. Becoming part of the Mnett Athletic Booster Club will help the athletic and support efforts to keep Mnett. They support all high school athletic programs, monetarily or volunteer support. Their financial or volunteering time is appreciated. About joining the Mnett Cubs Athletic Booster Club, a Booster Club member. And don't forget to follow on Facebook for the latest on.
Back at Kelly Field, the PAT by Scholbrook. Scholbrook makes the lead 1 for the Hound Dogs. It's 7-6. As the kicker will tee it up for the Hound Dogs, a 6-foot, 215-pound senior. 5:29.
Thank you.
Left here in the first quarter. As the kickoff underway, it's a high but short kick that comes down to about the 20. Reverse to the near sideline, comes to Swearingen across the 25-30 and dives across the 35. I look across the field and I see no flags, so the Cubs will set it up 1st and 10 near their 36-yard line.
Austin Hartwigson on the end of that tackle after another player had tripped him up, but a good run back by Mason, and the Cubs put the ball in play just across their 35-yard line.
Mnett trailing for the first time. They're down 7-6 with 5:23 left here in the first quarter, and the Cubs come out with one wide receiver left. Handoff up the middle to Branch, running right. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and is able to surge forward for a gain of a couple, but gang tackled after a 2-yard pickup.
Number 30, Blake Williams, in on that tackle, along with number 33, Kyle Todd.
Second down and a long 8 here. The Cubs will come out with 5 receivers, 2 to the right side, 3 to the left. Meyer takes the snap, back to pass, throws to the far side. Brian Parra-Navarro spins away from one tackle but is hit down quickly, and he'll actually lose some yardage here, and it'll bring up third down.
The Hounds collapsed quickly on Brian, and about 5 of them brought him down for a loss on the play, a loss of 1. It's going to be 3rd and 11 for the Cubs. The Hounds are fired up.
3rd and long for Mnett as they need to get out across the 45. Meyer empties the backfield as he sends out 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the near side. Meyer takes the snap, he looks left, under pressure, steps up, now fires. The pass is intercepted at the 43. A great one-handed interception there by Caleb Baker, and the Hound Dogs will take over.
Ian had a receiver open, but he didn't put enough air under the ball, and Caleb Baker managed to reach up with one hand, bring it down, and a big turnover for the Cubs. And for the Hound Dogs, and at this point, the Cubs are reeling. It's time for them to reestablish themselves.
So the Hound Dogs will take over inside the Cub 40. It's at the 38. Leading by a point. Evans out of the shotgun. He'll keep it himself. He's hit in the backfield, breaks a tackle, still on his feet, running right, and is able to make a good gain out of absolutely nothing. He should have been thrown for a loss, but the senior quarterback picks up about 7.
Aaron Howard had him in the backfield and let him go. There was a missed tackle that allowed Aurora to score their touchdown a while ago, and another bad missed tackle here. The Cubs need to start doing the fundamentals and tackling properly.
Gain of 7, down to the Cub 31. Aurora comes out with 4 receivers, 3 to the near sideline, 1 receiver to the right. Evans takes the snap. He's running the option this time, still with it, and it looks like he'll pick up the first down. He needed 3, and depending on the spot, I believe the Hound Dogs will have the first down.
Corey Butterworth on the tackle, but you're right, it is sufficient for a first down for the Hounds. The ball now resting at about the Cubs' 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Hounds.
You know, Evans doesn't look real comfortable running the ball tonight as he's kind of picking and choosing the hole to go through, but he's been very effective thus far. His last 3 carries have gone for about 20 yards. Evans out of the shotgun, takes the snap, throws it right, has his receiver. Again, that's Baker. Baker hit immediately after a gain of about 5 yards.
Mason Swearingen and Aaron Howard on the stop. Evans did a tremendous job there. He fumbled the ball up in the air. When it came down, he actually threw it without looking almost. Only gained about 4 yards, but it could have been a much more damaging play for the Hounds.
Quick throw to the near side, completed out there down to about the 21. That's Willard, who caught the touchdown earlier. He'll pick up a couple of yards and he'll bring up third down.
Jed Anderson on the stop this time for the Cubs. He's going to bring up 3rd and about 4 for the Hounds.
Tell you what Aurora does, they force the opponent to tackle in space, and if you miss that tackle, we saw one happen earlier. 3rd down and 4 from the 21. Hound Dogs come out with 3 receivers to the near side. Neff is the lone back. Evans takes the snap, looks left, overthrows his intended receiver, and it is incomplete. Swearingen just about got the interception, but the ball hit the turf before he was able to get his arms underneath it.
That time Evans had a receiver wide open about 6 yards down the field and simply overthrew him. If it had been a good pass, it would have been a 1st and 10 for the Hounds.
Looks like the Hound Dogs will keep the offense on the field as it's 4th down and 4 from the Cub 21. So a big early play here for the Aurora Hound Dog offense, the Mnett Cub defense. Peyton Evans, the senior quarterback, will work out of the shotgun.
That same pass is going to be open this time.
High snap corralled. Now the
Evans.
throw to the right side. The ball in the air is intercepted, but a flag comes out, and we may see a interference call here against the Cubs. A lot of contact along the right sideline. The way the Cubs are reacting, it looks like it'll be on them. Interference against the Mnett Cubs.
I beg to disagree on that one, Benji. Both players were going for the ball. It was underthrown, and Cubs are obviously going to give up a 1st and 10 on that penalty call, but I think I thought maybe the offensive man might have grabbed the Cub because the Cub defender had a better shot at the ball than the offensive receiver did. And he did intercept it, I believe. But nevertheless, it's going to be a penalty on the Cubs, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line, looks like, for the Hounds.
It will be 1st and 10 from the 11, so the Hound Dogs knocking on the door again, already leading 7-6 as we move inside 90 seconds left in the quarter following this snap. Evans takes the snap. He'll run the option to the right, looking for running room. He's hit down near the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit there from the Mnett Cubs.
I really could not see the number of the Cubs, but that was a good defensive play by the Cubs. One of the Cubs defensive linemen, I think, ran him down from behind and then got help from the front, and I'm not sure which lineman it was.
2nd down and 9 after a gain of a single yard. Evans now empties the backfield, has 5 receivers out in this pass play. Snap back to Evans. He'll throw right, and the pass is knocked down at the line of scrimmage, and it falls incomplete.
Alex Turner batted it down just like a defender in basketball, batting away a shot. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9 for the Hound Dogs.
Hound Dogs in 4-down territory here, you would think. 56.3 seconds left after that incompletion. 3rd down and 9. And Aurora now features 4 receivers as Neff is a tailback to the left of the quarterback, Evans. Payton takes the snap, back to pass, has plenty of time, now flush from the pocket. He's hit and down he goes.
Michael Branch and Valentine. Patrick Valentine for the Cubs in there for the sack. Big loss for the Hounds, bringing up 4th down and about 16 or 17 for the Hounds.
First sack of the night. 4th down and long, and the Hound Dogs offense will stay on the field. The Hounds can get a 1st down without a touchdown, but they need to get right down to the goal line or inside the 1.
Right.
Evans will work out of the shotgun again. Takes the snap, back to pass. He throws over the middle. It's caught inside the 5, spun down, and I believe he'll be short of the 1st down. They needed about 16, and I believe the Hound Dogs got about 15.
Brian Pyro Navarro on the stop, and you're right, it was a pretty big gainer by the Hounds, but not quite as much as they needed. The Cubs are going to take over 1st and 10 from about their 4-yard line, so the Cubs dodged a bullet on that drive.
They needed 16, and they picked up about 13 on the play. And that catch was made by Laufer, I believe. And Mnett will take over as their defense stiffens, as this will be the final play of the quarter. Here comes Michael Branch running right, breaks a tackle. He's to the 10 and tripped up out to about the 12. That'll be a gain of about 8 yards, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Our score after 1, Aurora 7, Mnett 6, back after this timeout.
There's a project to make our community a better place to live. You'll always find local merchants right there, doing all to help. From sponsoring the ball teams to serving barbecue at a picnic, they're always there. Shop and invest locally. Community National Bank. Way to bank. Member FDIC. Visit us online at CNB.
Just a reminder that this game brought to you by Quick Draw Gun and Mnett, the place to buy, sell, or trade firearms of all types. Open evenings and Saturdays to meet customer needs with a great selection of new and used firearms. Quick Draw Gun is right off Highway 60 in Mnett at 601 South Kyler, or you can visit them online at quickdrawgun.com. After a gain of 8 yards, the Cubs will have it 2nd down and 2. And Leonard, I think the Cubs just need to get back to some basics here in quarter number 2.
I think you're right. They need to avoid the penalties and tackle on defense, and I think they'll be all right then.
2nd down for the Cubs as we start quarter number 2. Mason Swearingen, the tailback now. He'll get the handoff up the middle. He'll have the 1st down and more as he's able to get it out across the 20-yard line. He only needed a couple, and he picks up about 6.
Good play by the Cubs. Again, Alex Turner was the lead blocker there, making a hole for Mason this time instead of Michael Branch. It's 1st and 10 for the Cubs with the ball now at, the 21-yard line about?
About the 20. We'll put it at the 20. That was actually Aaron Howard. That was my mistake. Aaron Howard picks up 7 yards on the play.
Okay.
And they'll put it down at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Here comes Howard again, running right. He slips through a hole. He's to the 30, 35, 40, spinning his way across the 40 out to the 43 for another 1st down.
Finally pushed down in bounds there by Casey Weatherman, but an excellent run by Aaron Howard.
Gain of 23 yards and a 1st down. And Mnett, which started this drive inside their 5, they now have it at the 43. Couple of nice runs from Aaron. Michael Branch checks back in now. He'll be the tailback. In the offset eye as Turner lines up in front of him. Meyer takes the snap, turns and gives to Branch. Up the middle he goes. He dives forward to about the 45. That'll be a gain of 2, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Number 53, Grayson Heath, in on the stop with some help there for the Hounds. Michael hasn't been finding much of a hole as he tries to run up the middle. The Aurora interior linemen have done a good job of stopping things up. 2nd and 9, did you call it?
About 2nd and 8 after a gain of 2. Here comes Branch again running near side. Slips through a hole, makes a man miss. The pile falls forward across the 50. That's going to be a gain of 5 yards, and the Cubs will face 3rd and short.
Number 12 for the Hounds, that's J.D. Lee getting up last off the pile. Michael made a good sideways move there and slung off the first tackler and managed to pick up about 4 yards after the initial contact.
3rd down and a short 3 from midfield. Tight end resets to the left. Back to passes Meyer on the bootleg.
He needs to run it.
He's looking to throw it late. He has his man, and that's Turner. And that was improvisation at its best because Meyer just flung it underhand, and he hit Alex Turner for a gain of about 4.
He could have hit Alex sooner, and Alex would have gained more yardage, and he could have run it himself with Alex blocking for him and gained a lot more yardage, but he was looking downfield for a receiver, and at least it resulted in a 1st down for the Cubs, but it could have been much better than that.
Cubs with their 3rd 1st down of the contest. 1st and 10 from the 46. Here comes Branch running right side, hit at the line of scrimmage, backpedals his way inside the 45. He'll pick up 3, maybe 4 yards, and he'll bring up 2nd down.
Number 68 for the Hounds. That is Carlos Cordova in on the stop there.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6, upcoming a long 6 for the Cubs as the clock rolls with 9:25 left here in the 2nd quarter. If you've just joined us, it's 7-6 Aurora. Mnett scoring first, and Aurora coming back to take the lead. Play clock inside 5 seconds here. The Cubs need to hurry as they get the play off. There's a stop in action. May have been a timeout here Play clock was close to 0, but the Cubs actually got the play off, but the Cubs will take and get a timeout.
I think Coach Ewell thought that they weren't going to get it off in time, and he called timeout just about a second before it expired, and about the same time the Cubs snapped the football. So
We owe you guys a station identification. Just a reminder that you're listening to Mnett Cubs football on KKBL 95.9 FM in Mnett. You can catch live streaming video of tonight's action on www.monettwebtv.com. That web TV coverage brought to you in part by Country Dodge, South Highway 37 in Cassville, Missouri. Call 847-2137 or visit them online at gocountrydodge.com. And as always, our games are archived, so you can go back to that address, monettwebtv.com, at any point to check out action from tonight's game or any of the previous games as well.
it just dawned on me at that timeout, the officials have not granted a water timeout as they have in all the other games so far this year. Maybe they think it's cool enough tonight that the players don't need hydration.
Second down and 6. You're probably right, as temperatures are down in the 60s here as we go along. Here's a handoff to Turner up the middle. Cubs trying to catch the Hound Dog snap, and they're keying on Michael Branch. Instead, Turner runs it up the middle, and he'll pick up about 3 yards.
It took about 4 Hounds to bring Alex down, but they did. He did. There was no hole there, but he managed to push the ball forward about 3 yards. So it's going to bring up 3rd and a long 3 for the Cubs.
Turner, known for his catching, not so much his running, and did a nice job there. 3rd down and 3. Here comes an end around near side. That's Swearingen, and he dives down to the 35, and that should be enough for a Mnett Cub first down.
Tripped up there by number 10 and number 47. Number 10 is Caleb Baker, and 47 is Connor Savage for the Hounds.
Gain of 6 on the play, down to the 29. Cubs come out with 2 wing backs, a lone tailback is Branch. Here's Branch up the middle with some running room this time, breaks a tackle and struggles forward for a gain of about 7, maybe 8, and the Cubs will face 2nd and short.
Peyton Evans and Connor Savage on the stop for the Hounds. It's going to bring up 2nd and 2 from the 27-yard line, looks like.
Yeah, you're right. Down at the 27. Again, Branch is the lone tailback. Here's an end around to Swearingen running right. He's greeted on the sideline by a couple of Hound Dogs, but it looks like the Cubs will have enough for a first down. Needed a couple, he picked up 3, and the Cubs will have the first down. Their drive continues.
Number 33 for the Hounds, Kyle Todd on the stop. But again, the yardage was good for a first for the Cubs. They've got a good drive going. They need to avoid mistakes and put the ball in the end zone.
From the 24-yard line, Meyer works under center. He turns and gives to Branch, bounces right. He stood up there and then finally escorted out of bounds on the right side. A short gain on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and long.
Number 30 from the Hounds, Blake Williams on the stop.
Gain of a couple on the play. Branch now with 46 yards tonight on 9 carries. 2nd down and 8 from, looks to be about the 22-yard line. Meyer will work under center, offset high behind him. Here comes Michael Branch running right. Breaks one tackle, still on his feet, going forward. The pile finally comes to the ground. He'll be short of the first down, but the Cubs will face 3rd and short here.
A number of Hounds in on that play, and I can't get all of their numbers. It usually takes about 4 guys to bring Michael Branch down. 3rd and a long 2 for the Cubs.
The ball from the 17. Quarterback sneak this time by Ian Meyer. He needed a couple, and he'll pick up much more than that. Should be plenty for a Cub first down.
The surge of the mnett offensive line just provided a avenue there for Meyer, and he picked up more yardage than he really intended to almost. They needed 2, and he picked up, what, about 4?
Yeah, 4 or 5 down to the 10. It's actually first and goal, Leonard, for the Cubs.
Right, the ball resting just inside the 10.
Cubs going right to left as we look on. They're moving toward the north goal here at Kelly Field. Here's a handoff to Howard running right. As he sidesteps one tackler, he's able to get down near the 5-yard line, and the Cubs will face second and goal.
Number 47, Connor Savage, in on the stop with some help for the Hounds.
Gain of 5 on the play. Howard now with 35 yards on 3 carries. The Cubs face second down and goal from the 5-yard line. The ball resting on the right hash mark. Cubs come out in the offset eye as Howard is the tailback. And it'll be Aaron running right, cuts it in now to the goal line. He dives forward. Touchdown, Mnett Cubs. Aaron Howard from 5 yards out gives the Cubs the lead back. 5:30 left, Leonard, in the second quarter. 5:30 left here at Kelly Field before halftime. The Cubs regain a lead. It's 12-7, and they may very well go for 2 here. It looks like the offense will stay on the field here. A very workmanlike drive, a 95-yard drive, maybe 96 officially. And the Cubs really very methodical as they move the ball down the field. They'll go for 2 as Meyer will work under center. He turns and gives to Branch. Up the middle he goes, and he waltzes into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. A big pickup there for the Cubs as they get back that point that they lost earlier on the missed kick. 5:30 left here, second quarter. It's Mnett 14, Aurora 7. I was trying to look for a word, and I remembered Hank Stram, a longtime coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. He used to say, we need to matriculate the ball down the field. And I believe that's what the Cubs did that time.
That was very effective matriculation on their part, I would say. Yes, business-like drive, did the basics, blocked well, avoided penalties for a change, avoided turnovers, and they look like what we kind of expect from our offense.
And now the Cubs with the lead again will kick it away, going right to left as we look on. Cameron Cody will tee it up, and I'll check my phone real quick and get a update on our weather here from Aurora, as the temperature has dropped since kickoff, but how much? Well, we'll see here in just a minute. As Cameron Cody approaches the ball, the kick is in the air. It's a high, booming kick that comes down to about the 5. Return set up to the 10, the 15, 20, 25, and a good hard run there from the Hound Dogs. They'll have it out near the 30-yard line as another good effort there by Logan Laufer as he takes it out about 25 yards.
And another good tackle on the kickoff by Cody Thompson. That's twice that he has made a good tackle on the kickoff. Hounds are going to put it in play, 1st and 10 from their own 32.
And here they come to the line of scrimmage, trailing by 7. Peyton Evans will work out of the shotgun, takes the snap, and gives on the draw play up the middle. That's Neff, and he is hit at the line of scrimmage, and down he goes.
Aiden Brown on the stop for the Cubs. He's in there at one of those defensive line positions. Don't get to call Aiden's name very, very much, but a nice tackle there for basically no gain. I'd call it 2nd and 10. You might call it 2nd and 9.
Leonard, to take a look at radar. A break in the weather right now. Some weather out along the Kansas line, but that may move to the north, so we might be able to dodge rain the rest of the evening. Evans out of the shotgun, looks right, still with it, throws over the middle to Baker. Baker hit after the catch. A gain of 8 yards, maybe 9 on the play. It's going to be 3rd and short.
Michael Branch delivered a blow there to make that tackle, but a effective gain for the Hounds of about 8 yards. Going to bring up third and a short 2, or third and a long 1, however you want to call it.
The ball resting at the Hound Dog 41-yard line. Third down and 1. Clock rolling at 4:10 left before intermission. Evans will work out of the shotgun, brings a receiver in motion in front of him. Now he'll run the sweep to the near side. He'll have the first down and more to the 45, still on his feet, and gang tackled there out near the 48-yard line after a gain of about 7.
Travis Alcock and Cody Thompson on the stop for the Cubs, but a good gain by the Hounds, giving them the first and 10 at their own 48-yard line.
6th first down for the Hound Dogs. That matches the total from the Mnett Cubs. They have it at their own 48. Evans takes the snap out of the shotgun. Flush from the pocket, now running, has room to the 50, 45, 40, still on his feet down to the 35. That was a good job by the senior quarterback as he eluded pressure and picked up about 18 yards.
Finally ridden out of bounds by Aaron Howard after a good substantial gain for the Hounds. Going to bring up first and 10 now with the ball resting just inside the Cubs' 34-yard line.
Quarterback Evans with 28 yards rushing tonight. First and 10 from the Cub 34. Evans back to pass, hits Baker near side. He cuts it up, he's hit, and is pushed out of bounds after a gain of a couple.
Brian Parra Navarro on the stop for the Cubs. Gain of 2 on the play is going to bring up 2nd and 8 for the Hounds.
Cubs willing to give up those short passes, it appears. Baker now with 5 catches for 42 yards. Picked up a couple, as you said. Now the Hounds face 2nd and 8 from the 32. Neff, the lone tailback. The Hounds will run the option now. Evans cuts it up. He's hit, and down he goes after a gain of a yard. And Aurora will face 3rd down and long.
Brendan Kruger and Alex Turner on the stop after a gain of 1, 3rd and 7 for the Hounds.
Hound Dogs have it inside the 35, so you would assume they're in 4-down territory here. They need to get down to about the Cub 24-yard line. 2 Hounds go wide left now, joined by a 3rd receiver, 1 to the near side. Peyton Evans, the quarterback, takes the snap, back to pass, pump fake. He's hit in the backfield, and down he goes. The 2nd sack tonight for the Mnett Cubs.
Trying to get the number. That was Valentine. Patrick Valentine for the Cubs. A big play because it's going to bring up 4th and long for the Hounds.
Yeah, it'll be 4th and about 12 from the 36. Hound Dogs call a timeout. We're going to go ahead and keep it right here and remind you that this game is brought to you in part by Sports World for in-stock area team logo clothing and Letterman jackets, or for screen printing and embroidery on shirts, caps, uniforms, and much, much more. Call 847-5366 or stop by 709 Main Street on the square in Cassville. Again, that's Sports World in Cassville, Missouri. Well, Leonard, important play upcoming for both squads. Mnett with the momentum right now, and they'd probably like to keep it. There's 2:35 left here
okay,
before intermission. So if the Cubs can come up with a stop, they would have some time to try to put some more points on the board.
Correct. This will be a very big play in this quarter. And, of course, if the Hounds can pick up the first, or, you know, they don't have to score. If they can pick up the first, they'll have more time to work to try to score before half.
4th down and 12 from the 36. Mnett with a 3-man defensive line, 4 linebackers and 4 D-backs. Evans out of the shotgun, goes back to pass, looks right, fires deep right, has a man out there. It's caught inside the 10 and down to about the 3.
That was a perfect pass from Peyton Evans. Brian Navarro was there on defense, running side by side with the receiver, but the ball went over Brian's head right into the receiver's arms, and a perfect pass play by the Hounds.
Gain of 33 yards and a first down as they have it down to the 3-yard line. And on 4th and 12, the Hound Dogs come up with a big play as they're able to get it down to the 3. Aurora now with it, 1st and goal, as Evans will work out of the shotgun. He takes the snap. He'll hand to Neff, and White is slammed to the ground in the backfield. That'll be a loss on the play.
Michael Branch and Aaron Howard on the stop for the Cubs. A loss on the play.
Well, that's a loss of 5 on the play back to the 8-yard line. And Branch just wrapped up Neff and basically slammed him to the ground. It was like a wrestling move. Another timeout on the field here as Aurora will elect to talk it over with 2:01 left here before intermission. The Hound Dogs have it 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. So big part of the game here, Leonard, as we get close to halftime. Mnett on top 14-7, but the Hound Dogs knocking on the door.
That momentum that a team can gain right before half can carry over to the second half and be a sort of a launching pad. So both teams here, it's critical for the Cubs to hold the Hounds and for the Hounds to score here before halftime, because they'll have to kick off to the Cubs to begin the second half. So for the Hounds, it would be very big if they could pick up a score here, maybe even a field goal.
Hound Dogs back out onto the field. The Cubs getting last-second directions from their sideline as they come back out onto the field. 2:01 left here before halftime. Mnett on top 14-7. Hound Dogs come out with 4 receivers. Neff is the lone tailback, standing to the right of Peyton Evans. Movement on the left side. No flag. Now the ball thrown deep left side. And Leonard, there should have been a motion penalty against the Hound Dogs.
Both saw the illegal procedure by the Hounds, but nothing was called by the officials. If we can both see it from here, you would think one official down there should have been able to see it.
You would think so. The pass incomplete, and the Cubs able to dodge the bullet there, bringing up 3rd down and goal from the 8. Clock stopped with 1:56 left here before halftime. The Hounds come out with 3 receivers wide left, 1 to the near side. Evans takes the snap, back to pass. He looks over the middle, fires over the middle, and it is incomplete. There was contact near the goal line, but no flag, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Excellent defense there by Cody Thompson. The Aurora fans were calling for interference, but Cody had just as much a right to the ball as the receiver, and certainly no pass interference on that play. Just a good defensive play by Cody Thompson. Brings up 4th down for the Cubs.
You know, the ball's
for the Hounds.
The ball is at the 7. It was at the 8 earlier. Now it's at the 7. And there's a stop in action here. You remember, Leonard, on the first down play, Michael Branch threw Neff for a loss back to the 8. Now the ball is spotted on the 7. So I'm going to go back and update my my rushing totals by a yard. Interesting. 4th down and goal. We'll say that. Even the scoreboard has 4th and goal from the 8.
Is there?
And now the ball resting inside the 7, not beyond the 7, inside the 7.
Wow.
I don't even know what to say.
I don't either.
You know, so.
But it's obviously, as you say, it's inside the 7.
Yeah.
And then maybe the same official that didn't see that movement in the Aurora backfield is placing the ball. He may have trouble with vision.
Well, nevertheless, the Cubs face a big defensive play here as they look to shut the door on the Hound Dogs here before halftime. 4th and goal from the 7-yard line. Peyton Evans will work out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, back to pass. Looks left, throws left. The pass is knocked away at the last second. It's incomplete.
Once again, Cody Thompson with a nice play, stepped in front of the receiver and simply batted the ball away. Cody has taken the place of Brody Crawford, and so far tonight he seems to be doing a good job of that.
Boy, he really has, and that was a big play there as the ball kind of hung in the air just a little too long from Evans, and that allowed the Cubs defender to get up there with the right hand and knock it down. So a good goal line stand for the Cubs as the Hounds got it all the way down to the 3-yard line at one point. So mnett now with it, 1st and 10 with 1:47 left. And Meyer will work under center. He turns and gives to Branch, running right side, breaks one tackle, still on his feet, and is finally stopped after a gain beyond the 10-yard line. He'll pick up about 4 yards.
It gets to be such a scrum there, you can't tell where the ball carrier is, but good run by Michael in heavy traffic.
Gain of 5. Second down from the 12. Mnett quickly to the line of scrimmage. Meyer takes the snap. He's going to run it up the middle. He's hit, and down he goes. And there's a flag that came out late there.
Number 33, Kyle Todd, did an excellent job of tackling Ian Meyer.
Holding against the Cubs. Hound Dogs may decline this penalty here as they actually knocked Meyer down for a loss on the play. But they could also go half the distance to the goal. So the penalty flag was at the 10. So this will be a 5-yard penalty. And it'll be second down for the Mnett Cubs.
Second and about 13, looks like. Is that right?
Well, let's see. The line of scrimmage is 5. Second and 12, we'll call it, because the line of scrimmage was the 7. Second and 13 officially. There we go. Here's a handoff to Branch, bounces out to the right, gets across the 10-yard line, and again a bevy of Hound Dogs there to knock him down as Michael's able to pick up about 4 yards on the play.
A good hard run again on the part of Michael Branch, and as you point out, it took a bevy of tacklers to bring him down. It's going to bring up
about 3rd and 8. Can you hear all right, Leonard?
I can.
All right,
now,
very
yes.
good. 3rd and 8. Meyer back to pass. Flush from the pocket. Makes a man miss. He's still with the ball. Throws late. Has a man. It's caught. And that'll be a Cub first down out across the 30-yard line.
Pass complete to number 82 for the Cubs. That's C.J. Job. Meyer did an excellent job of scrambling away from pressure and got the ball out where the Cubs now can loosen up their offense a little bit more. They're not in the shadow of their own goal. The ball now at their own 34-yard line.
You know, Job did a very good job there because it was a broken play, and he kept looking for an opening in the secondary, and he actually came back to the ball, which is what you're told to do. And 24 yards later, the Cubs have a first down. And with 20 seconds left, 20.7 seconds left, the Cubs call a timeout.
For our readers' enlightenment, we're in a little space here about 42 inches wide with you and I can't get forward enough to see the scoreboard, so you have to tell me. And I also can't see all of the field.
No, and I can't either.
So we're just scrunched in here, but at least we're on the inside.
Well, well, people don't remember when a phone booth was. Some don't, some do, but it's about the size of a phone booth.
Bigger than this,
Yes.
I think.
So we're live from Kelly Field. We're on the inside, and we're dry so far. So those are good things. 1st and 10 for the Cubs from their 34. Meyer will go back to pass out of the shotgun formation. He throws it late and overshoots Job to the near sideline. And the incompletion stops the clock with 14.3 seconds left, and it brings up 2nd and 10.
Isaac Martinez and Caleb Baker were there for the Hounds on defense. I thought he was going to throw it to Michael Branch out in the right flat that time, but he was looking to go down the left sideline.
Cubs with one timeout remaining. Meyer back to pass, flips it out there, and it was nearly intercepted, but it's caught by Anderson. And boy, the Cubs caught a huge break there and picked up 6 yards.
Jed Anderson intercepted the almost interception. The pass was intended for Michael Branch. An Aurora defender broke sort of in front of Branch and got his hands on the ball but couldn't control it. Jed Anderson coming back was able to catch the ball and make a positive play out of it, but is also a very dangerous play and could have been disastrous
Could
for
have
the
been
Cubs.
a pick six.
Yes.
Because if he would have intercepted that, the Hound Dog defender would have went down the left side for the score, but it turns into a 6-yard gain for the Cubs as they have it with 4.9 seconds left, 60 yards away from pay dirt.
On the previous play, Michael Branch was wide open out there in the flat. And I guess Aurora saw that too, so that the Aurora defender started coming up to cover him and almost made the interception.
Cubs with the final snap here, unless there is a defensive penalty. They come out with 5 receivers, 2 to the right, 3 to the near sideline.
Looks like an Ave Maria coming
Could be.
for us who know Latin.
That would be Hail Mary. Here's a pass over the middle, and it short hops Brian Parra Navarro, and that takes us to halftime as the game clock reads 3-0. Our score at intermission, it's the mnett Cubs 14, the Aurora Hound Dogs 7. When we return here at halftime, Leonard will take a look at the scoring summary, and we'll also take a look at first half stats. The Cubs lead 14-7 here at Kelly Field. We'll be back with our halftime show after this timeout.
Whether it's Chevy or GM, stop Automotive at Highways 39 and 60 in Missouri. They've got what you're looking for and a variety of styles and colors to choose from. If it's fuel, check out the Chevy Cruze. For more room, see the Malibus or Impalas. If it's they've got trucks, Silverados, Sierras, and Colorados. What about SUV? Covered with Tahoe, Yukon, Equinox, and Terrain. If luxury is what you're after, Buick and Cadillac. And if you want to rev up a bit, see the Camaros or Corvettes. Automotive in Aurora, Missouri, junctions of Highway 30 and 60, or visit them online at mayfiv.com.
What are you doing?
Watch those guys work.
We see one guy working. What do the other guys do?
Yeah, they're pointing all that garbage, but they're talking. Get rid of it.
And the other guy?
Oh, that's shit. Go to trash service. They'll talk trash, but they don't waste any time getting to work. By the time those from the other service get it figured out, Doty Trash will have the job done.
So why would you call it else to get rid of your trash?
Beats me.
Free trash service serving Mnett and surrounding towns. For weekly pickup you can depend on. Those bigger jobs, call Jim today. 78-1350.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we are for road trips. We're for covering as much ground as possible on 2, 4, 18 wheels. We're for drop tops, T-tops, plastics, cruisers, pickup trucks, and dump. We're for displaying Missouri plates like pride. Have you ever hit a deer? Yep, we're for you too. We're for getting behind a tractor on a 2-lane highway. And if you're a Missouri driver, we have an auto for you.
Hi, I'm Chad Yarnold from Missouri. If you're in Berry or Lawrence County, got you covered.
In a hurry? Why? At Old Town Pharmacy, you will find fast service. They accept almost all plans and gladly match any local competitive prices, including the $4 generic. They offer delivery services several days a week and have a drive-through for drop-off and pickup for added convenience. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday 9 to 6, Sunday 9 to 3, and Sunday 12 to 4. Old Town Pharmacy, 100 Chapel Drive in Mnett in the Old Town Village. Call 1-7-635-1100.
Have all expenses come at a bad. Well, relax. Since 1996, Manufacturers has been here to help. Mnett check can loan you up to $500 by simply checking personal postage check, or up to $1,000 with a car title loan while you keep it like a rock. Mnett check cashers is conveniently located behind Taco Bell and has years of experience. So if you want extra cash, give us a call. Mnett cashers, where customer service still exists. Call 235-2274.
Hi, this is Sam Green from Properties in Mnett. From one flip plan to another, I want to be your real estate agent of choice. For our customers, we offer great service, knowledge, and skill, 20 years of experience, and it takes to get your property sold, not just listed. If you're serious about selling, give us a call. Remax Properties in Monett, 35-2200, located between McDonald's and Walmart on Highway 60. See you.
The big store, a lot of stuff. The Race Brothers, always something new to talk about. We have boxes in Southwest Missouri, pet supplies, dishes, collars, laces, grooming, care products. And for the kids, we have great toys. Steel flyer, wagon, apple tractor, the boat like Slate, Fire, Erdl. Come on, the Race Brothers in Springfield. The way we do business. Tell a friend. Race Brothers Farm and Home. Western Wind.
Benji Finsky and Leonard Bauer back with you from Kelly Field in Aurora. Will be joined momentarily by Jeff Ogle. At halftime, the Cubs lead at 14-7. And with a quick look at the first half scoring summary, here is Leonard Bauer.
Benji, we talked about the fact that in this heated rivalry, just about anything could happen, and a lot of the strange things did happen in this first half. The Cubs got on the board early, inside 1 minute of play. The Hounds took the opening kickoff, which went into the end zone, forcing them to put the ball in play at their 20. And on the very first play, a high snap was fumbled by quarterback Peyton Evans and recovered by the Cubs, putting the Cubs in business at the Hounds' 12-yard line. And Michael Branch then, I guess it was the 11-yard line, because Michael Branch then ran an 11-yard touchdown run into the end zone, putting the Cubs up 6-0, and the kick was missed. So Cubs led 6-0 with only 11:39 left on the clock.
Leonard, if you'll remember on that, the Cubs did get the fumble at the 12. They ran a play down near the goal line, got called for a holding penalty that brought it back
They
to the
gained
11.
1 yard on the penalty.
That's
I forgot
right.
about that.
Yeah.
So it was at the 12, and the penalty moved it to the 11. Michael then ran 11 yards into the end zone, putting the Cubs on the board. And at this point, you thought, well, this may be a runaway. Well, the tenor of the game changed, largely due to the Cubs' miscues, Cubs' penalties. Cubs went through a series of penalties that set them back to their own goal line and kept them from, advancing offensively as they should. And Aurora, with 5:29 on the clock, managed to get on the board. Keaton Willard received a 16-yard pass from Peyton Evans. A Cub defender missed the tackle at about the 15, and Willard went on into the end zone to put the Hound Dogs on the board. Jeremy Showbrook kicked the conversion for the Hounds. So with 5:29 left in the first quarter, the Hounds actually led in the game 7-6. And that's the way the first quarter ended. In the second quarter, about midway through the quarter, the Cubs mounted a long, effective drive, and with 5:30 on the clock, Aaron Howard scored on a 5-yard run. Michael Branch ran the 2-point conversion, and that put the Cubs up 14-7. And after some movement back and forth by both teams, the half ended with that score. Monett 14, Aurora 7.
The Cubs on top by 7 here at intermission. They will receive the second half kickoff when we return to action in the third quarter. We'll slip away here from some of our outstanding sponsors. When we come back, I'll be joined by Jeff Ogle, and we'll take a look at first half stats. Back with more after this.
Barclay and Central Sheet Metal has been doing business in the Lawrence County area at their office in Missouri for over 60 years. Wow, that's a lot. Central Sheet Metal is your hometown Carrier dealer, installing quality Carrier furnace conditioners for over 55 years. Man, that's a lot. Did you know invented air conditioners and have been an industry leader for over 100 years? That's really a lot. Parkway Hardware Central Sheet Metal is proud to sponsor football in the Lawrence and Berry County area. Good luck and have a great season. Parkway Hardware and Central Sheet Metal, 23 West College Street, Aurora. Go by or call 783839.
Home Shield Pest Control wants to know that if your home could talk, they tell you feeling well due to uninvited visitors, ants, wasps, spiders, rodents, and other pests lurking in your home or business. With over 20 years industry experience, Home Shield Pest Control remove those uninvited insects with affordable, safe, and effective methods. Home Shield Pest Control. Call Daniel Ving at 772-4177. That's 772-4177. A Branson golf course unlike other. Described by Golf Digest as golf architecture. An 18-hole championship layout where players don't want down to end. With the Ozark Mountains and natural beauty of serene water, faultless grass greens, and tree-lined joyous affairs, golfers and golfers alike. For more information, Stone Country Club, call 417-35.
Benji Finsky back with you from Kelly Field in Aurora. At halftime, the Monett Cubs lead the Aurora Hound Dogs 14-7, and I'm joined here at intermission by Jeff Ogle. And Jeff, if you would, please take a look at our first half stats.
All right, so starting off with the away team, Monett, we had 21 rushes for 121 yards, 4 completions on 7 attempts, and 53 passing yards for a total of 174 yards offense, 7 first downs and 1 interception, no fumbles, penalties 8 for 55, and 1 punt for 35 yards. And then for Aurora, the home team, we have 14 rushes on 22 yards, and completions 9 of 15 for 106 yards passing for a total offense of 128 yards. 8 first downs, no interceptions, 1 fumble lost, 1 penalty of 5 yards, and 1 punt for 42 yards.
Thank you very much. And we take a look at individual stats. Very briefly for Monett, Michael Branch was 61 yards and a touchdown. Aaron Howard with 40 yards and a score as well. Meyer, 4 of 7, as you mentioned. His favorite target so far is Alex Turner for 24 yards. Running for the Hound Dogs been tough tonight. Evans with 24 yards on 10 carries. Wyatt Neff 4 for -2. But Evans throwing the ball well, and we knew that he would. 9 completions, 5 of those going to Caleb Baker. But the score to Keaton Willard, who now has 2 catches for 18 yards. It appeared, Jeff, that the Cubs found their identity on that drive where they started inside their own 5 and was able to move it down. And it's the kind of game I think that you as an offensive lineman would like. I think it's going to be on that O-line the rest of this game.
Yeah, it's one of the old-fashioned Big 8 games. Like, we're just going to line up and we're going to see who has the better offensive line and just run it down the other team's throat. And there on that last drive, Monett just kept pounding the ball, and it worked out for them, and they ended up getting a touchdown out of it. And Aurora, I mean, they're doing all right. Peyton Evans is making plays like he did last year. He's a great athlete and great quarterback at that. But again, the penalties this week for Monett, they cleaned it up last week against Lamar, and then this week it seems to be coming back to bite them again.
Yeah, you talked about 8 penalties in the first half. 6 of those were in the first 2 minutes of the game. So, and it really put them behind the 8 ball and set Aurora up with some good field position that turned into a touchdown. In the second half, the Cubs will receive the ball. You probably look for them to try to establish the run game, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, get Mikey Branch, get him and Aaron Howard both. Keep going. Keep pounding the ball down the field and run it down their throats. Yeah, Aurora's got some big line, a couple of big guys right there in the middle, but if the linemen can get on their knees and move them out of the way and then open up just a little seam for Aaron and Mikey and Aaron both have the power in them to just run them over and keep going. So I'm thinking that when the second half comes out, Monett's just going to start pounding it down the throat like they did there towards the end, and hopefully Aurora catches them off guard. But you never know what Aurora's adjustments are going to be at halftime, and they're probably just going to come out and keep slinging the ball like they have been pretty well.
They have, and behind a very talented senior quarterback. Branch with 61 yards in the first half. Howard with 40, kind of a 1-2 punch for the Monett Cubs. We're at intermission here at Kelly Field. The Cubs lead at 14-7. We'll slip away and hear from some of our outstanding sponsors, and when we return, Leonard and I will set up second half action and bring you third quarter play from Aurora. Back with more after this timeout.
think you love that car. You love me.
Oh, how can you say that?
Wash it, hand wax it. You listen to music.
Pure coincidence.
Mm-hmm. Hope your insurance company feels the same way about you do.
They do. I'm one half. Maybe that's the reason so many people come for their car insurance. We have great agents who are nuts about cars. We're competitively, and our claims people are fast, fair, and to find an agent near you, go to shelter.com. We're your shield. We're your...
For a free insurance review, text Shelter Insurance Agent, Pressure in Monett.
You can trust Ken's Collision Center, Nashville, 417-847-100. Hear what Lee White, one of Ken's satisfied customers, has to say.
I've been with Ken for probably 10, 12 years. When you take the vehicles down there, they'll use the insurers and find out what they want to do. How quickly they need their vehicle back. Everything down there just quickly and thoroughly. My insurance adjusters, they love working with me.
Ken's Collision Center. Quality and integrity are our tool trade. 712 West 10.
Now, why is Steel, the world's #1 mechanic chainsaw, not sold at the Home Depot? Reliable, side service delivery. But there are 8,000 other reasons. Each one is an independent Steel dealer you can count on for straight talk, expert advice on steel products when you need it. Steel product sold is fully assembled, ready to go. Are you ready for us to see you?
See Leonard and the gang at Coast to Coast by South Tyler and Monett, your source for every deal.
You're welcome at Bruner Pharmacy. For 3 generations, nearly 40 years, Bruner Pharmacy family has lived, worked, and supported the fine Monett community that they call home. Bruner Pharmacy is a full-line pharmacy marked Gold Crown Gift Center, where items and gift ideas are added consistently. Now you can log on to their new website, BrunerPharmacy.com, to place your order and view their partial listing of prescription plans available. They offer free delivery, city limits, compounding services, Spanish-speaking staff, and accept nearly all insurance plans, all with fast-friendly service. Bruner Pharmacy, your local marked Gold Crown gift store. Upgrades to meet your every pharmaceutical giving need at 321 East Way in Monett.
Being active is one of the best things you can do for lifelong. When you experience pain from cycling or other exercise, you don't need to stay on the sidelines. Cox Monett Hospital has a team of sports medicine experts helping ages and skill levels. If symptoms don't resolve after rest or last more than 10 days, call at 417-232-2480.
A bulldozer.
That's funny stuff. I'm just the Huffmaster Insurance aren't sleeping on the. They helped me evaluate my insurance needs for term exposure I have and gave me some I didn't know were available before. And they helped me find the best rate without compromising our coverage. They were able to so we any gaps in coverage.
Dad, that sounds like grown-up stuff. What does that all really mean?
It means I'm able to sleep at night.
Upmaster Insurance, 811-7-235-3555.
Back at Kelly Field, Benji Finsky joined once again by Leonard Bauer. Just about time for second half action. And Leonard, the Cubs kind of regained some order with that big drive in the second quarter. And Jeff and I were talking at halftime. That's probably, we're going to see a lot more of that 1-2 attack from Michael Branch and Aaron Howard.
Those two present a good change of pace. Michael is slower getting through the hole, and he does have speed when he breaks in the open. He's slower with power, and Aaron is very quick. He hits the hole quicker than Michael does and also has good speed. So the two of them has been very effective running the football here in the first half. As I look at the field, Benji, it has remained in pretty good shape. I thought maybe by now there would be muddy spots where the grass had been pushed away, but the field looks pretty good, so maybe we'll get through this game without the uniforms getting too muddy.
You know, Leonard, I'd venture to say that this second half was one of the most important halves of football of the season. Cubs, looking toward district play down the line, they need to come away with a road victory here tonight. Aurora trying to keep a streak, a winning streak going, or get a streak going here. So very important half of football for both of these teams.
Yes, and this first possession of the second half of the third quarter could be, it's one of the most critical times in the game, starting that second half. If the Cubs can take the football and march it down the field in an orderly way and stick it in the end zone, that'll make their night's work a lot easier.
You're right. If they can come out with a sustained drive here and move it down, get a score, go up by 2 touchdowns, that would make a big difference as we move along in this one. Of course, Aurora has the potential to strike quickly. They've got a good quarterback and a nice receiving core, and they're playing without their best returning receiver from a year ago. As we look down, Naylor on the sideline with a boot on his right foot. You hate to see that. Of course, the Cubs playing shorthanded as well, and hopefully we can get all these kids back because you want them out on the field.
Quarterback Peyton Evans showed how skillful he is on the long pass play that he made down the west sidelines that looked like it was going to set up a score for the Hounds, but the Cubs were able to deny them. But that was a terrific pass play, and he showed what he's capable of on that particular play.
Yeah, he's a very good quarterback that I'm sure will be playing somewhere next year. That was on a 4th and 12 play, too.
Right.
Cubs expecting a pass, and he was able to thread the needle on a 33-yard pass play that got the Hound Dogs down to the 3-yard line. Both teams back out onto the field. Mnett will receive the second half kick as they'll defend the goal to the north. As we look to the flagpole, Glory is hanging still now, and no breeze to speak of. Hound Dogs will kick it off going right to left as we look on. The kick is in the air. End over end kick that comes down to the 7. The return to the 10. A reverse now goes left side. Good coverage there by the Hound Dogs. And Brian Parra Navarro knocked down near the 25.
And a good tackle there by number 8 for the Hounds. That's Clayton Dunning. If he hadn't made that tackle, Brian had quite a bit of running room ahead of him.
It was a well-disguised reverse that time, and the Cubs will take over at their own 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Michael Branch will be the lone tailback as Meyer will work under center as he did most of the first half. Receiver slotted to the right. Here comes Michael Branch. Actually, quarterback might have kept it as there was a mix-up in the backfield. I can't tell. Leonard, can you help me out on this one?
I can't tell either. I think Michael wound up with the football, looks like.
Okay, all right.
But there was a definite loss on the play. The Aurora defensive front just penetrated, and I think they hit Michael about the same time he got the football, and a loss of 3 on the play, 2nd and 13 for the Cubs.
2nd and long from the 20-yard line. Here's a pitch to Branch, and Branch running right side is able to get across the 20 out to about the 23, so back near the original line of scrimmage, and the Cubs are going to face 3rd and long.
Number 47 and number 30 for the Hounds. That's Blake Williams and Connor Savage in on the stop.
Line of scrimmage is at the 23. It's 3rd down and 11 for the Cubs. Meyer will work out of the shotgun. Looks over his receivers. There's 3 to the left, 2 to the near side. Meyer back to pass. Looks left, fires left, has Branch for the 1st down and more. Michael still on his feet as he struggles forward and is finally knocked out of bounds. A great pickup on 3rd and 11.
Flags at the end of that play. Michael was still trying to gain yardage as he went out of bounds. We wonder if there might be a late hit or what the call might be.
Well, the ball is marked down at about the 42, so that would be a gain of 19. There's a dead ball penalty, personal foul against Aurora.
And there's also a Mnett player on his back over there. I don't know if that's Michael or someone else, but I saw feet in the air. It is Michael. He's on his feet now. He was on his back out of bounds, but he's on his feet now. And after a long run by Michael, the personal foul on the Hounds, unnecessary roughness, adds 15 yards to it. So it's going to be the Cubs ball now, 1st and 10 from the Hounds' 47-yard line.
15-yard penalty on top of the nice pickup and a big conversion there for the Cubs as they had it 3rd and 11. They now are in Aurora territory at the 47-yard line. Here's a handoff to the tailback. That's Howard running off right guard this time. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, and down he goes. No gain on the play. It's 2nd and 10.
Number 47 for the Hounds is Connor Savage. Met that play, and for no gain, it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Cubs.
Maybe a loss of a foot, but 2nd and a long 10 for the Cubs. Swearingen comes wide to the near side. Offset eye behind the quarterback, Meyer. And takes the snap, play action, back to pass, hits Turner, but it's incomplete. He led him just a little bit too much. The incompletion will bring up 3rd down.
Brennan Kruger and Brian Pyro Navarro were both open deep. If Ian, that wasn't the play that was called, and he got it to Alex, but Alex couldn't hold on to it. But if he could have taken another second and looked downfield, that might have been 6 for the Cubs. 3rd and 10.
Out of the shotgun, Meyer turns to the far sideline to get the play called in. Resets these receivers, back to pass Meyer. Under pressure, running left side, throws late, and it is dropped out there by Branch. A flag comes out, and I think we're going to have roughing the passer here as Meyer was hit hard after he released the ball.
I think you're right. Ian was running to his left, which is a difficult way to throw, but he threw the ball on the money to Michael Branch, and Michael simply could not hold on to it. But the roughing the passer penalty is going to put the Cubs in pretty good position, I think, after that penalty is stepped off.
Should be a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, and the Cubs needed a 10.5. They got 15, and their drive continues, and 30 yards in this drive has been due to a couple personal fouls on the Hound Dogs.
The Cubs were guilty of penalties in the first half. They're the beneficiaries of penalties so far in this half.
They have it at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10. Meyer will work under center. He turns and gives to Branch. Branch to the 30, 25, 20, 15,
gone.
10, 5, touchdown! Mnett Cubs. Branch from 32 yards out. And the Cubs take the second half kickoff down the field. They now lead it 20-7. Time is 9:35.
Thank you.
Left in the 3rd quarter. A 32-yard touchdown run by Michael Branch. He found a crease on the line and outran the D-backs into the end zone. The PAT upcoming by Cameron Cody out of the hold of Sangston. The snap back, ball down, the kick up. It's high, it's long, and it is good. 9:35 left, 3rd quarter. Mnett 21, Aurora 7. Back after this timeout.
This is David from Mnett Rental, and you're listening to Cub Sports on 95.9 KL The Buzz. This live broadcast of members. The Berry County Department, whether you need your well water tested or about flu shots, check with the Berry County Health offices in Mnett and Cassville. Cassville office at 847-21 at 354-402 for more information. Bank of Southern Missouri with locations in Cass, Slakeman, Willard, Sheldon. Visit them online at Freedom BK, a member FD. When your belly is raging for something, or maybe a hand-cut steak or some great Italian like spaghetti and meatballs. At Highway 60 in Mnett. And Phil Davidson, State Farm Insurance in Mount Vernon. For life, auto, or health, call Phil Davidson, 466-76.
Back to action here at Kelly Field. The Cubs will kick it away. Cameron Cody puts it in the air. It's a high, long kick that goes into the end zone for a touchback. And the Hound Dogs will have it 1st and 10 at the 20. And Leonard, big drive there from the Cubs. They capitalized on a couple of penalties and were able to punch it in. Now they lead by 2 scores.
We talked about that, and they delivered, and so doesn't mean the game's over, but the Cubs certainly have put themselves into an advantageous position.
And now it's up to the defense to get after this very good quarterback, Peyton Evans. Evans, 9 of 15 in the first half with a touchdown. He'll work out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, back to pass, flips it out to the near side, and the pass is dropped out here on the flat. It was intended for Willard. He heard footsteps coming. The incompletion will bring up 2nd down.
Yes, Brennan Kruger and Tyler Alcock were bearing down on him, and I think he took his eye off the ball to look at them and simply dropped it. The ball was right in his hands. If he had caught it, it probably wouldn't have been more than a 2-yard gain.
Out of the 9 completions, 7 of them have either been that flip to the sideline or a slant pattern to Baker over the middle. We'll see what the Hound Dogs feature here on 2nd and 10. Evans brings motion in front of him. He takes the snap, running the option. He'll pitch it back to Neff, running right side. And the Cubs able to string that play out very nicely. And Neff may have not got back to the line of scrimmage.
Trying to get the number. Alex Turner and Coy Butterworth in on the stop, I believe.
It's going to be a loss of 2 on the play. Neff having a rough night, 5 carries -4, and now the Hound Dogs face 3rd and 12. Okay, it's hard to run that option out of the shotgun because, you know, you're so far behind the line of scrimmage to start with.
And the Cubs have good lateral speed, too, that gets out there to cover it.
It's 3rd down and long for the Hound Dogs. Vital for them to get something going here as they trail by 2 touchdowns. Evans will work out of the shotgun. Back to pass, Evans with time, fires deep over the middle, has a man across the 40 and out near the 50. That's a big gain by Clayton Dunning.
Aaron Howard on the stop. I don't know how he got so wide open behind the Cubs secondary, but he did. And Aaron made the tackle. 1st and 10 for the Hounds, a big play, a good momentum saver for them. Puts them in 1st and 10 at midfield.
Dunning's had 2 big catches, one for 33 yards, this one for 32, and both of them coming on long distance situation. That on 3rd down and 12. So the Hound Dogs have it right at midfield, 1st and 10. Evans back to pass, looks downfield, now looks to run, is able to escape tacklers. To the right side he goes. A flag comes out. Have a feeling this run's going to come back. It was thrown by the umpire in the middle of the field, usually is a holding call.
Right, finally knocked down a bounds there by Cody Thompson, but from the position of the flag, I'm guessing is holding, and that's the call against the Hounds.
That'll be a penalty from the spot of the infraction. If that's the case, the flag's resting at the Hound Dog 44. Cubs will most definitely take it because that was going to be a gain of 12 or 13 yards.
Right. It was a big play from the Hounds. It's nullified by the penalty.
So Aurora only had 1 penalty in the first half. They've been whistled 3 times here in the 3rd quarter. In fact, we've played only 3 minutes and 15 seconds, and they've had 3 costly penalties. 1st and a bundle here, 1st and about 26 from the 34-yard line. Evans brings motion in front of him, takes the snap, back to pass. He's under pressure. He throws it late, and boy, the Cubs got after him that time, forcing the incompletion.
Brennan Kruger and Tyler Alcock were all over Peyton Evans, forcing him to throw it before he was ready, and the pass was short of the receiver and incomplete.
And Evans checking his chin strap here, and he's got a little bit of a hitch, and he's giddy up as he gets
He is
back to the
limping
huddle.
a little bit.
He was pounded down by those defensive players. He remains in the game on 2nd down and long. The ball at the Aurora Hound Dog 34-yard line. Evans again out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's back to pass. Throws deep near side. This ball hanging up in there.
Oh, come. That is unbelievable.
Flags came out, and that ball was...
It was uncatchable, except that if Brian had seen it, he could have caught it. But a collision between the receiver and the defender, but Brian in no way initiated it. Absolutely horrible call, in all honesty.
It goes against the Cubs. It'll be a 15-yarder. Tell you what,
I have to call them the way I see them, and
Yes.
that was right in front of me. You agree with me,
I
don't
would
you?
say that ball was about 5 yards away from the would-be receiver. Totally uncatchable, but maybe not the call here. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 11. It would have been 3rd down and 26. So the Hound Dogs with it at their own 49. And really, Evans' throw that time showing signs that he hadn't cleared the cobwebs from the previous play. Evans will work out of the shotgun. Back to pass. He's under pressure, rolls right now. He'll run it to the Cub 45, still on his feet, and he'll have an Aurora Hound Dog 1st down.
Kruger and Valentine on the stop for the Cubs, but Evans was flushed out of the pocket and did a good job of running. The Cubs are putting a lot of pressure on the passer, but they're not maintaining outside leverage and allowing him to get outside and run, and he did that time with good effectiveness. 1st and 10 for the Hounds from the Cubs 39.
The clock stopped with 8:28 left here in the 3rd quarter. Mnett on top, 21-7. Evans out of the shotgun, back to pass, fakes to the side, now throws over the middle, intended for Baker, goes through his hands, incomplete.
Evans wanted to go downfield that time, I think, to number 8, Clayton Dunning, but Mason Swearingen had him covered, so he had to pull the ball back and try to go over the middle, and was ineffective in hitting his receiver over the middle, who was well covered by Brennan Kruger.
2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. Ball at the Cub 39. Aurora comes out with 2 receivers to the near side, which is Dunning and Baker. Neff, the lone back beside Peyton Evans. Evans takes the snap, back to pass, flush from the pocket, still on his feet, and down he goes. A big play there for the Cubs defense.
Michael Branch got to him and prevented him from throwing the football, and then number 21, Patrick Valentine, actually made the tackle, but Michael Branch set up that play by getting pressure so quickly that Evans could not get rid of the football.
A favorable spot there for the Hound Dogs. It looked like he lost about 10. They give him forward progress to the 46. So a loss of 7 brings up 3rd down and 17. Hound Dogs break huddle here as the clock rolls inside 8 minutes left 3rd quarter action. Evans sends 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the right. Evans back to pass. Still with it. He's hit in the backfield, and down he goes. Back-to-back sacks for the Mnett Cubs.
This time, Aiden Brown on the sack for the Cubs.
Loss of 6 on the play. 4th and long now for the Hound Dogs, and they may be forced to kick it here, down by 2 scores. Evans will drop back in punt formation. Keep in mind he is the quarterback. Evans kick to the right side, a end-over-end kick that hits inside the 30, inside the 25, and that's where the Cubs will have it, 1st and 10 at about their own 23-yard line.
So an important stop by the Cubs defense after the Hounds had picked up a long gaining pass, and Quarterback made some good runs to keep the drive alive, but the Cubs finally put a stop to it and take over the ball 1st and 10 now from about their own 23.
23-yard line, I believe is what we'll call it. And they'll come out with 2 wing backs and a tight end on the left side. Michael Branch is the tailback. It'll be Michael on a pitch running left, and he is hit as he comes across the line of scrimmage. Michael falls forward for a gain of a yard or 2, and it'll be 2nd long.
Number 47, Connor Savage on the stop for the Hounds after gain of 2 on the play. 2nd and 8 for the Cubs.
2nd down from the 24-yard line. Mnett with a 2-touchdown lead as we approach the 6:20 mark of quarter number 3. Again, Branch is the lone tailback. Here comes motion near side, the handoff on the reverse to Swearingen, and he'll go down in the backfield as the Hound Dog defense all over that end around.
Casey Weatherman was not fooled at all, and he slung Mason Swearingen down for a loss.
Loss of 6. And it'll be 3rd and about 15. So the ball resting at the 18-yard line. The Cubs need to get it out beyond the 30. 3rd down and 15. Meyer looking to the sideline to get his play. Game clock inside, or the play clock inside 10 seconds. Meyer takes the snap, back to pass. Pump fake, and the ball comes out. Michael picks it up, but they're going to call it an incompletion as his arm was going forward.
Right.
And that'll bring a 4th down.
His arm was hit by a defensive lineman, and I didn't get the number, but big defensive play by the Hounds to hit the quarterback's arm, causing his pass to fall drastically short of where it was intended. 4th down for the Cubs now, deep in their own territory.
The line of scrimmage is the 17, actually the 18-yard line. Snap back is a good one, and the kick away, an end-over-end kick that takes a Mnett Cub bounce, a very effective kick that goes down to near the Aurora 40-yard line.
Mason Swearingen there to pick the ball up and deaden it at the 41, so the Hounds will put the ball in play from their own 41. Again, an effective kick on the part of Aaron Howard.
41 yards on that punt, no return. So the two teams exchange punts, and Aurora will take over 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line. We'll see if Evans is going to be all right here. He took some hits on that last drive. He empties the backfield and will work out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, gives on the inside handoff, and his receiver slips down. No whistle, however. I guess his knee didn't hit the ground as Willard continued to churn forward for a gain of 2, maybe 3 yards.
It was hard to tell. Corey Butterworth in on the stop. It looked like his knee had gone down, but maybe it didn't touch as he slipped, and he did pick up 3 or 4 yards after that slip.
We'll call it 2nd and 7 from the 44. Aurora will come out with 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the near sideline. Slot man to the left side as well. Evans back to pass with plenty of time this time. Lets it go deep down the middle. This one's tipped, and it is incomplete. Good coverage downfield by the Mnett Cubs.
Cody Thompson on the cover for the Cubs. Very long pass from Evans, and if Thompson had not been there, it would have been complete. He was running with the receiver, and the ball was a little bit short of the receiver, and Cody was there preventing the receiver coming back to get it. Once again, the Aurora fans are calling for interference, but it wasn't interference. It was good defense on the part of Cody Thompson.
3rd down and 7 from the 44. Cubs threatened blitz, and they moved too quickly there that time as Aurora went on a long count. I believe this will go against the Cubs.
Well, they went on a long count, and quarterback Peyton Evans actually took a step backwards, which he's allowed to do as long as there's only one back in motion. And when he took that step backward, Tyler Alcock went across the line of scrimmage thinking the ball had been snapped, but it had not.
3rd down and we'll call it 3rd and 2. That was almost a 6-yard penalty there, Leonard. 3rd down and 2. As the quarterback Evans has Neff beside him. And it'll be Neff up the middle, and he'll have the 1st down as he dives down near the Cub 45.
Brendan Kruger got a hand on him. No one really took him to the turf, but Brendan got a hand on him, causing him to fall, but a good run by the hound back, and it's going to be 1st and 10 now at the Cubs' 45-yard line.
4:20 left here in the 3rd quarter. Mnett leads 21-7. Hound Dogs with the ball, 1st and 10 after their 11th 1st down of the contest. Peyton Evans, senior quarterback, out of the shotgun. He'll go back to pass, still with it. Now he tucks it and runs right side. Hit after a short gain down to about the 40 to bring up 2nd and 5.
Brought down there by Aaron Howard. A good tackle by Aaron, preventing a larger gain, a gain on the play of about 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 for the Hounds.
Evans, a good quarterback. He can get you with his arm and get you with his legs. He accounted for 30 touchdowns a year ago and almost 2,850 yards on the year. 2nd down and 5. Evans empties the backfield, takes the snap, back to pass, flush from the pocket, now to the near side. Still with it, he'll run to the 40. He's to the 35, stiff arms a tackler, and then knocked down near the 30-yard line.
Once again, Aaron Howard on the stop, but not until Evans had gained enough yardage for the 1st and 10. When he rolls out of that pocket, there's simply no one there till about 15 yards downfield.
You're absolutely right, and that time he hung on to it as long as he could and then decided to run, picked up 10. And the Hound Dog drive continues as they have it at the Cub 30-yard line. Evans has Neff to his left this time. High snap over the quarterback Evans. He goes back and covers it up wisely at the 45. That's going to be a loss of about 15 yards on the high snap.
Evans did a good job of just covering the ball and not trying to pick it up because Brennan Kruger was approaching quickly. And if he had tried to pick it up, it might have resulted in a fumble and loss of possession. So a heady play on the part of Peyton Evans after a bad snap.
2nd down, 25. We'll see if the Cubs dial up a blitz here and try to get after Evans. Aurora comes out with 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the left side. Peyton back to pass. Throws deep, right side, has a man open, and it is incomplete. And I believe that was Dunning out there that couldn't make the connection.
Boy, once again, a beautiful pass from Peyton Evans. Dunning couldn't quite corral it. It was over the Mnett defenders, and he would have had to leave his feet to catch the ball, so he would not have scored, but it would have been a long gainer if he could have held on to it.
Tell you what, he is a fine-looking receiver, Dunning, and I think he came back last week after some injuries, and he's looking very good. He's made some big plays for Aurora. 3rd down and 25 from the 45. Evans takes the snap, back to pass, flips it to the right side and over the head of his intended receiver. Incompletion will bring up 4th and long.
Benji, I've talked about the crown on the field. A pass like that, it has a bearing. The receiver is out toward the sideline, and he's like 2 feet lower than the quarterback, and it causes the quarterback to overthrow those receivers sometimes.
You know, you said that last year, and the first play from scrimmage was an incompletion just like that. So maybe something to that theory.
The quarterback has to allow for that because the defender, as he runs to the sideline, is going downhill.
Punt situation for the Hound Dogs. Kick is away and it goes inside the 20. The home fans wanting a roughing the kicker penalty, but none forthcoming.
Aaron Howard was right there at the punter, but he actually fell at his feet and Peyton Evans then fell on top of him, but it wasn't because Howard had hit him. It was because he was trying to draw the penalty.
Good kick. The line of scrimmage was the 45, and it goes down to, I believe, about the 9. So a 36-yard punt with no return. You got to give credit to the fans here at Aurora. They've got...
Well, that's typical of all fans. You try to help your team and influence the officials if you can. That's, that's nothing derogatory of the Aurora fans. The Mnett fans would do the same thing.
No, a small but mighty crowd is what I wanted to say. Here's a handoff up the middle. Goes for a little or no gain. Actually, a fumble on the play. And Meyer able to get it back.
I have no idea what happened. I just saw a mob of bodies, but looks like the end result is going to be Mnett's football, 2nd and 10.
Loss of a yard, maybe a half a yard, 2nd long. They'll call it from the 8-yard line. Michael Branch is the tailback behind Meyer, who takes the snap and gives to Branch. Up the middle he goes with running room, able to get it across the 15 and out near the first down.
Trying to get the number, I believe it was Peyton Evans. No, it was number 8 for the Hounds. That's Clayton Dunning, who made maybe a touchdown-saving stop because Michael was about to break into the clear.
Here's 3rd and a couple, and Meyer will take it himself up the middle. He'll have the first down and more as he gets out near the 23-yard line. He needed 2, and he picks up about 5.
Number 53 and number 30 from the Hounds. That's Blake Williams and Grayson Heath in on that stop, but a good quarterback sneak by Ian Meyer to pick up the 1st and 10.
From the 23, here come the Cubs. We're inside 30 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Meyer will take the snap. He gives to Branch. Up the middle he goes and is able to fall forward across the 25 to about the 26. A gain of a couple to bring up 2nd down.
Casey Weatherman on the stop for the Hounds. Michael's having a lot of trouble running in that interior, but if he gets a crease, we know he can take it to the goal line.
Gain of a couple brings up 2nd and 8. That takes us to the end of the 3rd. Our score, Mnett 21, Aurora 7. Back with the final 12 minutes after this timeout.
It seems with Giant Faceless Hope when he's taking control of most banking, it have a local bank that's truly the hometown for hometown people, with all the stability and strength of large holding companies, yet enough to understand your banking needs. Your pot's always on at First State Bank. They want you to know you're always welcome at any of their locations. Purdy, Mnett, Pierce City, First State, hometown people.
Hi, this is Jennifer. I'm a bank of State Bank of Purdy in Mnett. We have a First State Bank of Purdy.
Back to Kelly Field in Aurora as the game clock reset to 12 minutes. We move into the 4th quarter. Mnett leads 21-7. They face 2nd down and 8 and have the ball near their own 25-yard line. The 3rd quarter, I wouldn't say dominated by Mnett, but they were able to put together a scoring drive to increase their lead to 2 touchdowns. Looking for more here. Another touchdown here would go a long way to salting a 4th victory of the season. Meyer under center, double reverse this time for the Cubs as the ball was handed to Job and then I believe maybe to Swearingen. And Swearingen able to get it out for a gain of a couple.
Wyatt Neff on the stop for the Hounds. The Hounds were not fooled by that. It was designed to fool them, but they did a good job of holding the play to a long 3 or a short 4-yard gain, however you want to put it.
3rd down, and we'll call it about 6 as the Cubs need to get it out to the 33-yard line. From the 27, Meyer turns and gives to Branch up the middle. He'll have the first down and more. Breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet out across the Cub 45-yard line.
Dragging bodies, Michael goes down the field and picks up the 1st and 10. Number 51, Malik Baker on the stop for the Hounds. but a typical Michael Branch run where he found a little crease and then drug bodies with him for another 5, 6, 7 yards.
That's a gain of 19 yards on the play and a first down. Branch now up to 128 yards on 19 carries, and really a workmanlike effort from him here tonight. He's replaced by Howard now at tailback. Meyer takes the snap and gives to Aaron, running right side, and still on his feet as he drives close to the first down. Well, he stopped short by a couple of yards, but a good hard run by Aaron Howard picks up about 8 yards.
Connor Savage on the stop for the Hounds. He's been in on a lot of tackles for the Hounds. Aaron Howard always runs hard.
He does. And as you said, he's quick to the hole, a little bit change of pace for the Cubs. Second down and a long 2 from the 46-yard line. Looks like a mix-up there as quarterback just
sneak.
Keeps it himself, and he'll have the first down. Maybe that was a design call. Second and 2, and Meyer picks up 3 for the first down.
Malik Baker on the stop. I think it is. Sometimes he hesitates a little bit to allow his blockers to get out, and then he goes. And I think that's what you thought maybe was a broken play. I think it was just his hesitation before he moved forward.
I think you're right, because he was able to go forward without hesitation once he got started.
It's almost like a short quarterback draw.
It is. First and 10 for the Cubs from the 43. And Meyer this time. Now, that was a mix-up.
I think that was a broken play.
That was a broken play, and Meyer was able to make something out of nothing, able to get it down to about the 40 for a gain of 3.
Number 33, Kyle Todd on the stop.
Yeah, I think one of them, I don't know which one,
Somebody
but here
was,
Michael Branch went the wrong way. And Meyer, didn't panic.
He did a good job of picking up positive yardage.
Yep, 2nd and 7 for the Cubs from the 40, as Branch will be the tailback. Meyer takes the snap and gives on a reverse to Turner, and Turner is hit in the backfield, and he'll lose a yard or two, and it'll bring up 3rd and long.
Number 10 for Caleb Baker did a great job of staying home and taking care of business. And again, that was designed to fool the Hounds, but it didn't fool them at all.
A loss of, we'll say a loss of 2 will bring up 3rd down and a short 9. There's a timeout on the field. I believe the Cubs took a timeout here with 9:02 left. And as we approach the 9 o'clock hour, I want to remind everyone that you are listening to Mnett Cub football on KKBL 95.9 FM in Mnett. You can also catch live streaming video of tonight's action on MonetWebTV.com and at Web TV coverage. Brought to you in part by Country Dodge, South Highway 37 in Cassville, Missouri. Call 847-2137 or visit them online at GoCountryDodge.com. This game also brought to you in part by Quick Draw Gun in Mnett, the place to buy, sell, or trade firearms of all types. Open evenings and Saturdays to meet customers' needs with a great selection of new and used firearms. Quick Draw Gun, right off Highway 60 in Mnett at 601 South Kyler, or you can visit them online at QuickDrawGun.com. 3rd and about 9 for the Cubs as they have it at the 41. And here is a counter play to Branch, who's hit in the backfield, and down he goes. He'll lose a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Michael tripped and was actually falling, and Casey Weatherman pinned him down and made an end to the play, but Michael actually had tripped and was going to fall down anyway.
4th and 10 for the Cubs. They'll have it out near their 43 now. The punt unit on for Mnett as Aaron Howard drops back to his own 45. A late substitute in for the Cubs. It was a long snapper. Snap back, a good one. The kick away is a high kick, angling to the near side. Takes a Cub bounce, but now goes into the end zone. Touchback will give it to the Hound Dogs at the 20-yard line. You know, you can't have a punt without a long snapper.
That's true.
So as as the long snapper came in. That is Darian McCracken. And if you don't understand the importance of a good long snapper, I tell you, they are unnoticed until something bad happens.
Right.
And he's been pretty true with these snaps all season long.
And they are critical to the success of a team.
Hounds will take over 80 yards away from pay dirt here, trailing by 14. And time is of the essence as there's only 8:13 left in this one. Evans back to pass. Still with it, under pressure. Breaks one tackle, now eludes another, finally knocked out of bounds after a short gain as a pair of Cubs got after him there.
Knocked out of bounds by Alex Turner and Patrick Valentine.
Gain of maybe a couple. We'll see where they spot it. They'll put him at the 22 for a gain of 2.
That was one of the better jobs the Cubs have done of corralling the quarterback when he rolls out of the pocket to the sideline.
See, the Cubs coming with 3 defensive linemen, and, hard for them to maintain the edge many times with just 3 guys coming after the quarterback. Now a blitz after him. He's hit, and down he goes.
He saw it coming, but he couldn't do anything about it. That's Tyler Alcock coming from his outside linebacker position and throws Evans for a big loss back to about the 15-yard line.
That's a loss of 7, and that is the 5th sack of the night for the Cubs, bringing up 3rd down and 15. Aurora with it at their own 15-yard line. They need to get to the 30. Evans sends 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the left. Payton takes the snap, back to pass. Still with it, looking downfield. He's hit and falls forward for a gain of maybe a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th and long.
Corey Butterworth on the stop, preventing Evans from picking up positive yardage. Going to bring up 4th down now and about 14 or 15.
Line of scrimmage is the 16-yard line, so we'll credit Evans for a gain of 1 yard on that run. Punt unit on for Hound Dogs. And now a whistle stops action. We'll see what the call is here. Is this infraction prior to the snap, or did someone call a timeout? We'll see. Are you counting the heads, Leonard?
Yep, there's 12. Now that you mention it.
Yeah, it's a legal substitution on the
part of the Cubs.
It'll be a 5-yard penalty.
I was wondering why the back judge way down here at this end of the field was calling something, but he's the one that counted the number of players, and the Cubs had 1 too many.
4th and 9 now for the Hound Dogs, and keep in mind the punter is the quarterback Evans. Snap back is a low one, but Evans gets the kick away. It's off the side of his foot, and it'll angle out of bounds near the 35, so a very short kick, and the Cubs will have great field position.
Benji, I noticed Evans came off the field a little bit earlier, sort of from his playing defense, and he was sort of limping, and he sort of limped now as he came to the sideline. I wonder if he's had an injury to his leg that might have caused this bad punt, because his other punts had been very long and high, and this one just was a dud.
1st and 10 for the Cubs from the 33-yard line. Looking for the knockout punch here with 6.5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Cubs lead at 21-7. Meyer back to pass now. Pump fakes, now throws late to Turner. With the reception, Alex has the 1st down and more. Still on his feet inside the 20, and the Cubs are knocking on the door.
Alex is a big, strong guy, and it took about 5 Hounds to get him down. A big gain on the play.
That's an 18-yard gain for Turner, and he is having a very big night for the Mnett Cubs.
The ball now looks like just inside the Hounds' 15-yard line, 1st and 10, but there's timeout on the field. And I didn't see who called this one, but I have a feeling the Hounds may have called this one.
There is a stoppage in action, and we'll take one as well. We'll be back with more of 4th quarter action after this timeout.
Hi, this is Darren from the Bayou Rush Mnett. I've never been in a better area people look after each other. There's more nights than I've ever had in my whole life growing up.
Injury.
That area and all the surrounding.
I guess that was why the timeout. I didn't realize that. Yes, Aurora had a player down on the field. Number 1, Keaton Willard.
And the Savage.
Good community and stick together like we should. That's of a good community. This is Darren. Be here, Mnett, Missouri.
Back to Kelly Field. The timeout was for an injury as Willard, you mentioned.
Keaton
Willard was injured on the play. We resume action as he's able to get to the sideline. Movement along the defensive front here. As one of the defensive linemen, I think, nudged into the center for the Cubs.
As that's the second time tonight he's been knocked over backwards.
That'll be a 5-yard penalty. And the center for the Cubs, we should say, is Jeremiah Anderson. It's good to see him out as he was dinged a little bit last week.
Right.
And doing a great job up front. First down and 5 now for the Cubs as the ball moves to the 10-yard line. They're looking for a score that would give them a 3-touchdown lead. Out of the shotgun, Meyer has Michael Branch behind him. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Meyer takes the snap, back to pass, throws over the middle and overshoots his intended receiver. And the incompletion will bring up 2nd and 5.
That wasn't really close. It was so high, and neither the defenders nor the receivers had a chance at it. But
2nd down, 5. Meyer takes the snap and gives to Branch, and Branch is knocked down near the line of scrimmage, and now the Cubs will face 3rd down as they've had 2 plays that have netted nothing here on this drive.
Number 33, Kyle Todd, just knocked Michael down. Michael doesn't normally go down like that.
3rd and a long 5 from the 10-yard line.
I don't understand how the Aurora lineman can take a full step forward and not be encroaching.
I know it.
They must be way back from the line of scrimmage. That's happened a number of times.
Here's
tonight.
Meyer back to pass, has plenty of time, throws left side. The ball is up. It's tipped, and it is incomplete.
Batted down by number 10, Caleb Baker. We're going to have a field goal attempt, it appears.
And on 1st and 5, interesting play calls there on that drive. I thought we might just see a whole lot of Michael Branch, but Cubs decided to air it out a little bit. We will have a field goal attempt from Cameron Cody as the ball will be placed down near the 17. So a 27-yard field goal attempt. Snap back, ball down, the kick up. It's high enough, it's long enough, and it is no good as he hooked it wide to the left. And the Hound Dogs stay alive with 5:12 left here in the 4th quarter. The score remains 21-7, and that would have been a big 3 as that would have put Mnett up three scores.
Right. And, Coach Gould may have wanted to maybe even he may have wanted to attempt that field goal just for the practice, because it could be a critical thing in a game later on this season to be able to make a field goal like that.
Well, nevertheless,
Aurora played very tough. Michael didn't gain any yardage when he did carry the ball.
You're right. 1st and 10 for the Hounds. The ball moved back out to the 20 following the missed field goal. Evans out of the shotgun, looks left, now looks right, flips near side, and it's thrown behind his intended receiver and falls incomplete.
Brendan Kruger did a good job of covering that receiver and almost got his hands on the football. The Cubs could use an interception. We haven't had an interception tonight.
Had 1 fumble recovery on the game's first play from scrimmage. And one thing we thought we'd see a lot of tonight would be turnovers due to the wet conditions, but the rain stopped right before kickoff, and the field has actually held up very well. 2nd down and 10 from the 20. As Evans takes the snap, he looks to the right, throws to the near side, And the pass is caught out there on a diving grab for a gain of about 8 yards.
Jed Anderson was there trying to help the official to say it was incomplete, but he and the official saw it differently. From here, we couldn't tell. So it was a complete pass. Going to bring up 3rd and about 3 for the Hounds.
From the 27, the Hounds quickly to the line of scrimmage. Evans out of the shotgun, takes the snap, looks to the left, now runs up the middle. He'll have the first down and more to the 35. He's to the 40 and knocked down there at about the 44. Good hard run, a gain of 17 and a first down.
Dragged out of bounds by Brian Para Navarro, but you're right, a tough run on the part of the Aurora quarterback.
Clock stopped with 4:26 left in the ball game. Mnett leading 21-7. Aurora to the line of scrimmage. They'll send 3 receivers wide left, 1 to the near side. Evans takes the snap, back to pass, flush from the pocket. He's hit, and it falls forward for a gain of about a yard, and it'll be second long.
Michael Branch flushed him out of the pocket, and then he and Corey Butterworth applied the tackle, a hard tackle, and quarterback Evans is sort of limping toward the sideline.
He's coming out.
And number 12, J.D. Lee, has gone in for the Hounds.
Lee, a 6'2", 155-pound junior quarterback, comes in, thrust into action here in a tough spot. He'll work out of the shotgun. Lee takes the snap, throws to the far side, and it goes through the hands of his intended receiver and brings up 3rd down.
Looked like the ball hit the hands of the receiver and should have been caught. Jed Anderson was there to hit the receiver after the ball had gone through his hands, but the receiver actually had dropped the ball before Jed got there.
Isaac Martinez checks in for the Hounds. We haven't seen him on the offensive side that much here tonight. And he'll slot to the left side as Lee, who wears number 12 on his uniform jersey, works out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, back to pass, throws near side. The ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete.
That wasn't tipped, that was batted.
Okay, I'm with you.
Corey Butterworth stuck his hand up and just batted it down to the ground. Good hands by Butterworth. It's going to bring up 4th for the Hounds now, and still about 9.5 yards to go.
And Evans comes back in. Will he come in as a quarterback or the punter here on 4th and 9? Looks like the offense stays on the field.
Yeah, you'd think they'd go for it, being down 2 touchdowns at this point of the game.
So the Cubs with a chance here to slam the door shut. 4th and 9 from the 45-yard line. There's a timeout on the field as Aurora wants to talk it over. And Evans just not looking good at all. He's favoring, you know, that is it his right leg that he's favoring here, and hopefully he'll be okay. Timeout on the field. We'll keep it right here and kind of summarize where we are. 3:40 left in this one from Kelly Field. Mnett trailing at 1.7 to 6 has scored 2 unanswered touchdowns to lead 21-7. It's been just an old classic Mnett Aurora game.
It has that.
You know, you mentioned early how tight of a series this has been over the last 87, 88 years. These two teams separated by less than 100 points in that rivalry. I think Mnett held a 47-44 advantage, if I remember what you said.
And Mnett has had recent success. For years, Aurora led in the rivalry. Jared in the paper here has, in the last 12 years, Mnett has won 11 and Aurora 4. So Mnett has sort of come to the fore in the last dozen years. Before that, Aurora led the rivalry.
4th and 9, and the Hounds will go for it here. And it's Lee back in, and he's under a lot of pressure. He makes a man miss, scrambles far side, throws deep down the field, and I believe it's caught down there. Nope, it's incomplete as he caught it out of bounds.
He did a great job of getting the ball down the field and almost a complete pass. He was under strong duress from Aiden Brown, and threw a good pass down the field and almost a long completion, keeping the drive alive, but it was incomplete. You think he caught it out of bounds?
He caught it because I saw the officials
Okay.
signaling out of bounds. So it was caught, but it was just beyond the sideline. So good effort there from J.D. Lee.
End result, the ball goes over to the Cubs. 1st and 10 from the Hounds' 45.
And now with 3.5 minutes left, the Cubs probably look to try to pick up a first down or two and salt this one away. Meyer under center takes the snap, gives to Branch. Running near side, staying in bounds. Now knocked out of bounds after he picks up 7, maybe 8 yards on the carry.
Finally knocked out of bounds by Kyle Todd.
Branch picks up about 8 yards. That puts him over 130 yards. We'll call it a gain of 7, so officially, or I guess still unofficially, 133 yards for Branch on 22 carries. 2nd down and 3 from the 37. The clock stopped with 3:22 left. Branch, the lone tailback. And he'll get his number called again. Up the middle he goes.
He's
to
gone.
the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Cubs from 37 yards out. Michael Branch. Up to 170 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the Cubs score with 3:14 left here in the 4th quarter. And they lead 27-7. And Branch, once he broke the line, went untouched from 37 yards out. And now Cameron Cody on to attempt the PAT out of the hold of Tommy Sankston. Snap back, ball down. The kick up is low, driving kick that is good as it was able to get inside the left upright. So with 3:14 left in this one, Mnett leads at 28-7. Back with more action after this timeout.
More than 12 million children in the U.S. are at risk of hunger every day. At Tyson Foods, our team members across the country fight against hunger and raise money for hunger relief in our own communities. Since 2000, donated 68 million pounds of protein to fight hunger, but it doesn't begin to address the needs out there. Please join us by becoming in hunger relief in our own community. We can feed those in need. Tyson Foods is a proud sponsor of Mnett.
Back to Kelly Field and Aurora. Mnett on top 28-7. They've outscored the Hound Dogs 14-0 here in the second half. And they've got this one in control, leading by 21 points. Cody to kick it away as the ball's teed up at the 40. And the kick on its way is a driving kick that hits inside the 5. The return set up to the 10, the 15, 20. And out near the 22-yard line, that's where the Hounds will take it, 1st and 10.
Patrick Valentine on the stop for the Cubs. A good tackle by Patrick there.
Lawfer with another good return. He's had 3 or 4 nice efforts in tonight's game. 1st and 10 for the Hounds as they have it near their 23.
J.D. Lee is back in at quarterback. Peyton Evans is standing on the sideline. And I think he's counting his bruises.
His night over here as he stands on the near sideline. Lee out of the shotgun, back to pass. He looks left, he throws left, and it goes through the hands of his intended receiver, Dunning. And that's 2 passes that Lee has thrown that's been dropped by his receivers.
Tyler Alcock there on the defense, but it looked from here like it was a good pass. Again, Lee throws the ball well, it appears, but the receiver let it go through his hands.
Lee, a junior quarterback, came in during the last drive, now faces 2nd down and 10 as he sends 4 receivers out in this pass pattern. Neff is the lone back beside him. Lee takes the high snap, throws near side, pass caught by Baker, and he'll go down behind the line of scrimmage. It was a completion, but it'll be a loss of 3, maybe 4 yards.
Aaron Howard gets credit for that tackle. He didn't actually ride him to the ground, but he caused him to sidestep and trip and fall down. So a loss on the play for the Hounds is going to bring up third and about 13.
Ball resting right on the 20-yard line, and the clock continues to roll with 2:35 left here in the fourth quarter. Again, the Hounds feature 4 receivers, 3 to the left side. Lee back to pass, looking downfield, throws downfield, underthrows his intended receiver, who made a good effort out there, but he short-hopped it, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Mason Swearingen was there on the defensive, also trying to catch the ball, but he couldn't catch it either. Lee had to throw the ball before he wanted to because the pressure was coming.
And now the backup punter in for the Hound Dogs.
76.
Brandon Sewell. Big lineman in there to kick it away. The line of scrimmage is the 20. And a good snap back. Left-footed kicker gets it out of there. It hits down at the 45 and goes to the 46. So that'll be a 26-yard punt with no return. Is that 76? Actually, it's 78.
Oh, it is 78.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I misread it.
Logan Halffield.
It looked like a 6 from my vantage point, but you're right, it's 78.
So Logan with a 26-yard punt, no return, and the Cubs now will come out looking to run out the final 2:09 in this one. It's kind of what their intention was on the final drive, and then Branch broke one for 37. Michael will be the tailback here. Brian Parra Navarro wide left. Meyer under center takes the snap, and he'll give to Job running near side to the 45. There's going to be a flag on the play here. A hold will be called. I think they got Swearingen or maybe Parra Navarro for a hold here. That'll cost the Cubs 10 yards.
Kyle Todd on the stop for the Hounds, but you're right, there is a penalty against the Cubs, going to move the ball back 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
12th penalty on the Cubs. And in all reality, they did have 6 penalties in about the first 3 minutes of the game. So while 12 sounds awful, and it is, it's a lot of penalties, things have settled down after those first couple of drives.
Right, the last 3 quarters have been a lot better in the penalty department.
First and about 19 for the Cubs from their own 45. Here's Swearingen running the ball, cuts it up. He's to midfield and into Hound Dog territory to about the 49. That'll be a gain of 6, maybe 7 yards, and it'll bring up second down.
I am surprised that the Cubs have their starting offensive unit on the field yet. You'd think that might be time, but they have enough respect for the Hounds that they don't want to take any chances.
Second down, and we'll call it 14, a short 14, as the Cubs come to the line of scrimmage. Michael Branch is the lone tailback. Meyer milking the clock as much as he can. Takes the snap and gives on the reverse. And I'm trying to find a number there. That's McCracken, I believe, with his first carry of the night.
Right.
Darian McCracken with a carry. Picks up about 7 yards on the play. Call it 6. McCracken, also the long snapper, picks up 6. It's third down and about 7 from the 43-yard line, and this could be the final play. It looks like the Cubs will set it up in victory formation here as Meyer will take a knee as he's letting that play clock run down inside 5 seconds. He takes a knee, loses a couple of yards on the carry, and that will be the final play from scrimmage as the play clock stays at 25, the game clock inside 15 seconds. So the Cubs survive a tough one here at Kelly Field. Our final from Aurora. The Mnett Cubs 28, the Aurora Hound Dogs 7. Mnett improves to 4-1 on the season with a hard-fought victory over their longtime rival. We will slip away here from some of our sponsors. When we return, Leonard Bauer will go over tonight's scoring summary, and I'll take a look at post-game stats. We'll be joined by members of the Mnett Cub coaching staff as well. Back with the post-game after this timeout.
IMEC is a manufacturer of metal fabrication and machine parts manufacturers. Established in 1952, IMEC has found that a commitment to investing in people and equipment has enabled steady growth and added services to customers. Skilled employees, modern CNC, and a dedication to meeting customer needs and expectations ensure quality while providing quick turnaround of required components. IMEC, located at 1716 Street in Mnett, is a proud supporter of Cubs.
What happened to paying one price and getting everything included? You buy an airline ticket, it's extra to bring a change of clothes, book a hotel room, and you're shelling out for Wi-Fi, priced bottled water. Really? Imagine my delight when I found out roadside assistance is now included with my shelter insurance policy. So if I get a flat tire, if I just call and they take care of me. Additional cost, but some restrictions apply.
Brought to you by Shelter Insurance. See Andy Brandt for a free insurance review.
For all things Mnett Cubs, tune in to KKBL 95.9 The Buck.
Foods Incorporated is the world's largest retail cheese processing company. Is the largest private label cheese supplier, retail market, and the largest food supplier. Customer loyalty and long-term job security depend on being the best at what you do. Driver Foods has appreciated being a member of the Mnett community and look forward to their continued involvement in yours. More than 30 years ago, Jack Henry Associates was co-founded by the company's name and Jerry Hall based on three fundamentals: do the right thing, do whatever it, and have fun. These simple but powerful tenets have enabled the company to prosper in an extremely competitive business environment, provide rewarding professional opportunities for its associates, to establish a corporate culture that values integrity-based business relationships, and to generate an impressive rate of return to shareholders. Jack Henry and Associates, Highway 60 in Mnett. Staff, the world leader in aluminum solutions. They are a lighter future through a global reach and local presence within extrusions, building systems, and tubing. Indefinitely recyclable and sustainable, aluminum is the perfect answer for industry. Staff places great working environment and adhering to their core values. Staff employees have a desire to serve their customers and community. For employment opportunities, them at 808 County Road or call 41235. The plant has been providing innovative aluminum solutions since 1965.
Back at Kelly Field, Benji Finsky alongside my broadcast partner Leonard Bauer. The Cubs win this one 28-7. Mnett now 4-1 on the season. Aurora falls to 1-4. With a look at tonight's scoring summary, here is Mr. Bauer.
Well, Benji, the Cubs got on the scoreboard first and in very quick fashion. With 11:39 left in the first quarter, Michael Branch broke free on an 11-yard run up the middle for a touchdown. This time the kick was failed. It was not good, and so the Cubs broke out to a 6-0 lead with less than a minute gone in the game. It looked like then that the Cubs might have a very easy time of the night, but it turned out to be not that way. With 5:29 left in the first quarter, Aurora got on the scoreboard. Keaton Willard received a 16-yard touchdown pass from Peyton Evans, and Jeremy Schobrock kicked the conversion, putting the Hounds up 7-6. And that's the way the first quarter ended, with the Hounds on top 7-6. In the second quarter, with 5:30 left, Aaron Howard scored for the Cubs on a 5-yard run. And this time Michael Branch ran the 2-point conversion and putting the Cubs up 14-7. And that's the way the first half ended. In the third quarter, with 9:35, the Cubs took the kickoff in the third quarter and marched down the field on a business-like drive. And with 9:35 left, Michael Branch broke free for a 32-yard touchdown run. And Cameron Cody kicked the conversion this time for a 21-7 Cub lead. And that's the way the third quarter ended. In the fourth quarter, with 3:14 left. Michael Branch again breaking free on a 37-yard touchdown run. Cameron Cody kicked the conversion, putting the Cubs up by a comfortable 28-7 lead, and that's was the final score. Mnett 28, Aurora 7.
Thank you, Leonard. A workmanlike effort tonight for all the Cubs as they really took care of business. It's always tough to win a road game, and it's especially tough to win a road Big 8 conference game. Mnett improves to 4-1 on the season. Aurora now 1-4. We'll slip away, and when we return, we'll talk it over with, I'm thinking maybe Coach Wood might come in. I know Coach Ewell will be on his way, and we'll also take a look at post-game stats. We'll be back with more of our post-game after this timeout.
Hey, this is David from Mnett Rental and Sale. The goofy Cardinal baseball guy. Yeah, everybody's wore that in the ground, haven't they? Tony and I, he's a smart one. We're still out here east of Mnett on 10 years now, renting equipment to lift, big, very smooth, cut, fill, level, wash, drive, mix, buff. You get the idea. Cousin Coach, he's not really our cousin. We just call him that. They can fix about anything, small engine-wise. Me, well, consistently I show up to work on time. Hey, come see us 3 miles east of Mnett, the 60, or call 236-0338 and see what we can do for you.
If it's no joke. Don't make it easy complicated when all you have to do is pick up the give Mnett Glass a mirror a call at 412-235-6018. Seen that broken window to custom shower or that pesky crack in your car window got bigger, Mnett Glass and Mirror can. So don't wait. Give Jeff and the guys a call. 417-235-6018. If it shatters, it matters at Mnett Mirror, 1600 Wellington Avenue in. Log on to mnettglass.com. Call 417-235-60.
We'll come back after this one.
In the Mnett time.
Serving Mnett and the surrounding areas for 80 years, the Mnett Times features in-depth local and information about your friends and neighbors on a daily.
30.
Also on the internet at www.mnett-times.com. Mnett Times helps you reach over 30 through the Mnett Times and
crowded
Mnett
up here.
Midwest.
It's the worst press
We
box.
are back at Kelly Field, joined in the postgame by Coach Kyle Wood. And Kyle, after a tough loss a week ago against Lamar, your kids really bounced back in a great effort tonight on the road against a longtime rival, and the Cubs win at 28-7. And your defensive unit really got after it tonight. Seemed like.
Yeah. I'm super proud of the effort. I didn't think we've played just fantastic in that first half, just as a team as a whole. Tons of penalties everywhere. They had the lead for, the first quarter and for a while. We went in, talked to our kids, and I thought they responded fantastic in the second half. They had a couple routes that we hadn't seen, and, Peyton Evans is a good enough quarterback. He can find an open receiver. I mean, that kid's legit. And so they did a good job. He did a good job finding the open receiver. We made it wasn't a huge adjustment, but we made an adjustment at halftime with covered stuff, and we took away the one open route, and you were showing me numbers. So, they threw for 106 in the first half, and then they threw for, 30?
36 in a second.
Yeah, so I'd say the adjustment worked. So.
Yeah, it really did. And Leonard and I talked about it coming out of halftime. Arguably, the most important half of the season to date was that second half, because when you start looking down the road and placement within a district, this was a big game for both these teams, and you guys were able to really take care of business. Had a beautiful drive in the second quarter, another one to start the second half, and your defense just kind of throttled down.
When you have an offense like ours, sometimes you just feel like defensively we're out there all night, because sometimes when we start scoring, it's in bunches, And Coach Ewell does a really good job of calling plays. And, the ground tonight and the weather prior to the game got us, a little off being able not to throw as much as we have been. But we can pound it and we can throw it. And so when they score in bunches, it feels like defensively, we're out there a bunch. So tonight when they had those drives and we're just methodically rolling down the field, and I can just stand there and talk to my defensive coaches on headsets and game plan, that's awesome. I love it. So that was good to see.
I tell you what, tonight you were playing on the defensive side without a couple of your stalwarts. You know, you're missing your nose guard, your nose tackle, one of the interior guys,
Yep.
and a defensive back. And we called Cody Thompson's name a bunch tonight.
Yeah, I thought, Cody had made a few mistakes, but they didn't kill us, and then he came back and made some big plays. The big knockdown there on the 4th down in the end zone. He made another play over here in the middle. So I'm super proud of Cody. We're missing some really good defensive players, and we can't wait till they get back, whenever that is. Angel, he's missed, and just his emotion and what he brings there. There's no doubt that he's got a big heart of our defense. He carries it. There's no doubt about that. So him staying on the sidelines tough, having Brody standing over there, who Cody filled in for tonight. So that's great. Cody, he's going to have to play at some point this year. We're not super deep. So what we've been doing with Cody is we've kind of dual trained him at corner and safety. And he got all the reps all week at safety and did a nice job. And, I was a little nervous about it, but, he's in first time start at a new position, so I thought he did a great job. I'm super proud of him and his effort.
We fortunately were able to the rain stopped right before kickoff.
My gosh, thank goodness.
And
it was miserable.
Yeah, and it turned out to be a decent evening.
Yeah.
The field held up fairly well.
The Aurora field has the biggest crown maybe this side of the Mississippi River on a football field.
Yeah.
It is like when you're on our sideline, you can see everybody. You can see Aurora's kids maybe from the knees up. If they're kind of short, it's from the waist up.
Right. A lot of people think that everything from the Continental Divide flows to the Mississippi River.
No.
I think it's from the crown of Kelly Field
God,
that goes to the Mississippi.
It's ridiculous. Leonard knows, but they have a huge drain on our sideline. And, our sideline's kind of soupy over there because we were marching up and down it. But I thought, yeah, you're right. The field held up really. It looked really good beforehand. So they've been doing a good job. So and that crown paid off tonight. If you start running downhill towards the sideline, you really build up speed here. It's that kind of kind of crowd.
And something that you won't have to worry about except one more time in a regular season. 3 of the next 4 are at Burl Fowler.
Yeah.
And then on the horizon, I believe Cassville Wildcats looming next.
Is that game next?
Is that it? Let me think. We're sitting here. Is that Aurora now? Cassville, McDonald County, a pair of games at home, and then at Seneca and East Newton in. So
yeah.
Cassville, what do you know about them? Good team.
I bet they're. Do y'all know the score tonight?
Didn't hear.
I didn't hear it. I bet they're 4-1 after tonight. So after they were kind of down, I know, after the Lamar game, but Coach Parnell and Coach Weldy over there definitely have got them going in the right direction. They're going to be fired up. I still live in Cassville, and I was at Subway the other day, and there's some former students that I had. I was there for 9 years, and some of our former students, they said, "Coach, we're ready for you." So I was like, okay, they're excited already. We're 2 weeks out. So, and I sent a funny text to Coach Ewell about it, but to say that I've gotten a hard time would be an understatement when people see. Because I'm wearing my purple, I'm wearing my big gold M, pretty proud down there. So we're trying to get moved. We just we're building a house in Mnett right now, so that's why we're still there.
Very good, very good.
But we're excited.
Big game tonight. Your kids played very, very well.
Yeah.
Big game next week, and then gearing up. We're already now 5 weeks in, and now
holy cow!
I know
it's crazy.
It goes fast once season starts.
And
so.
If you can't, if not everybody's excited, but like I said, I bet we're both 4-1 going to that Cassville Mnett game. So, and I've got some really good friends over there, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Well, we wish you well and a good week of preparation for you guys, and hopefully we'll be talking after another victory next Friday.
I would love that.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah,
always
thanks.
good to see you.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
That's Coach Wood as we talk it over here in the postgame. We're going to slip away, and when we return, Coach Ewell will probably be making his way up here as well. We'll be back after this timeout.
When you want a truck that's more pretty face, one that can handle the heavy loads and the tough jobs, you want a full series. And when you want that truck at price with the features the other dealers have, then you want Jimmy Mitchell Motors. Whether it's an F-150, 250, 50, diesel or gas, regular or crew cab, Jimmy Mitchell Motors has Get the truck you want at the price others beat. Come to Jimmy Mitchell Motors and why
Nobody beats our.
The Monett Cubs Athletic Booster would like to invite you to become part of this season's Cub Pride Catch the Spirit membership drive. Athletic programs serve as the window to the school and community. Becoming part of the Cubs Athletic Booster Club will help the athletic and support efforts to keep Monett growing. They support all high school athletic programs, monetarily or with volunteer support, to promote team spirit. Your help, financial or volunteering time is greatly appreciated. For more information about joining the Cubs Athletic Booster Club, contact any club member. And don't forget to follow them for the latest on upcoming events.
He's over 30. He's over 20. He's over 10. It's a touchdown.
There's nothing like football. The cheers of the crowd and getting a chance to see our local athletes and kids give it they've got. Come to a game. Support our local schools. Community National Bank. A better way to bank. Member FDIC. Visit online at cnbbanking.com.
You're listening to 95.9.
Whether it's Chevy or GM, stop by Automotive at Highways 39 and 60 in Missouri. They've got what you're looking for and a variety of styles and colors to choose from. If it's Buick you see, check out the Chevy Cruze. For more room, see the Malibus or Impalas. If it's trucks, they've got trucks, Silverados, Sierras, and Colorados. What about SUV? Covered with Tahoe, Yukon, Equinox, Traverse, and Terrain. If luxury is what you Cadillac. And if you want to rev it, see the Camaros or Corvettes. Aurora, Missouri, junctions of Highway 30, 60, or visit them online.
Back at Kelly Field tonight, the Monett Cubs win at 28-7. Monett now 4-1 on the season, and Aurora 1-4. Monett improves to 2-1 in the conference, and Aurora now 1-2 in Big 8 play. Looking at post-game stats, first of all, for the victorious Cubs, they rushed the ball 44 times for 252 yards, 7 completions on 14 attempts for 90 more, so the Cubs finished with 342 unofficially. Monett with 14 first downs, 1 turnover and interception in the first half, 12 penalties for 90 yards, and 3 punts for a 39.7-yard average. The Aurora Hound Dogs rushed the ball 28 times for just 44 yards. They finished 12 of 35 passing for 142, so the Hound Dogs held under 200 as they had 186 yards tonight. 13 first downs for Aurora. They had 1 turnover, a fumble on the game's first play, 5 penalties for 50 yards, and 5 punts for a 29.2-yard average. Individually for the Hound Dogs, they were led on the ground by Peyton Evans for 39 yards, and he also threw the ball 11 of 24 tonight with a touchdown. His leading receiver is Caleb Baker with 39 yards. Leading runner for the Cubs, Michael Branch, finishes with 170. Aaron Howard chipped in 48 more. Meyer finished 7 of 14 passing. Turner with 3 catches for 42. And we're joined by Coach Ewell. Catch your breath coming up that flight of stairs that's straight up. And well, congratulations. It's always hard to win at Aurora, and you've done it 2 years in a row.
Yeah, you know, they did a good job tonight, Aurora. They played real well. They did some things defensively that caused us problems, and offensively I thought they did a good job with protecting their quarterback, and he made some great plays just running the football himself. You know, they did a good job keeping the ball, sustaining some drives. They may not have got points out of them sometimes, but they killed a lot of clock.
Yes, they did. And, you know, the game started off with a bang, a turnover on the first play, and then following a penalty, the Cubs scored really on the first offensive play of the game, and it looked like, okay, here we go. But then after a series of miscues, Aurora took the lead, and Leonard Nice said going in the second quarter, it's time probably for Monett just to go back to the basics and settle down a little bit, and you really put together a great drive there in the second quarter.
Yeah, you know, we scored real quick, and I think sometimes when that happens with teams, they think it's going to be too easy. You know, you see that all the time. You see it in college, you see it in the pros, you see it everywhere. You know, after coming off of last week, just the emotion after that loss, and you come and get a quick score. I don't know, what 16, 17, 18-year-old kids think, but, Aurora's going to play, and they're going to fight you. So they came down and scored, and then we were in a ball game. And, I felt like we had to establish the run. We were kind of in the passing game, didn't feel like we were clicking much, and we were making some just mental errors as far as route running and not throwing where we want the ball thrown. So I thought running the football would be good. And it's funny, I think the kids, that's what they wanted to do too. I felt like they felt like we could run the football, and so when we started doing that, I think even the kids were excited about it.
And they did a great job. 1-2 punch tonight of Michael Branch with 170 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was able to rip off a couple of big runs in the second half. Aaron Howard finishes with almost 50 tonight and a touchdown himself. So those two guys really doing a good job. Alex Turner had a good night catching the ball with 3 receptions, but it was really the offensive line and your tailbacks that took control of the game.
Yeah, Mikey ran hard, but I thought Onus coming in was a big plus, or he gave us a boost. He hit some, he hit the hole a few times, and I thought he was going to go, but and really we don't drop off with him. I mean, he's a different type of runner, but he's a smart runner, and he does hit the hole. And when Mikey's able to get a blow, and Aaron can come in, and you feel confident just running him. As a coach, it makes it a little easier to run the football.
Yeah, you inserted Howard on that one drive in the second quarter, and he started with a 7-yard carry. Then he went for 23, and he got you out of the hole and really got the offense going.
Yeah, and he does so much for us. He's our leading tackler, and he's our punter. He's got a great he does a great job there. And then he would love to run the football more, and I don't blame him. But he does, he's never says anything about wanting more, carries. He's just, he's a team guy, and he's done a great job for us as far as that's concerned.
Your defense gave up a few yards in the first half, but in the second half really shut down the Aurora Hound Dogs, as looks like they picked up about 58 yards. No, 58 yards in the second half, and they got a lot of heat on the quarterback. 5 sacks tonight.
Yeah, I bet, when you get 5 sacks, when they're throwing it 40 times, or I don't know how many they threw it, but 5 sacks, and that's 35 times that he's getting to throw it, or scramble. So I thought we did a good job. When we brought pressure, we were able to get to him sometimes. But when we didn't bring pressure, he had a long time back there.
Right.
And he made some good throws. He almost hit another touchdown over there on this side over here, and it was a beautifully thrown ball. But, there's a reason why, he's getting recruited to go play college, and whoever gets him gets a good quarterback. But I knew that he was going to cause us some problems. The field, I don't know if his advantage offense or defense. You always think about that type of stuff. But I don't know, as a pass rusher, if you slip and fall. I remember playing in games like this, you felt like there was an advantage. You always felt like you had the advantage. But you can't say enough how he played. He played real well.
On the horizon, the Cassville Wildcats coming to Burrow Fowler, and we should mention now 3 of the next 4 games at home at Burrow Fowler, so that's a good thing. But the Wildcats are next, and probably coming in 4-1. You would assume that they were a heavy favorite tonight, so we're going to have a pair of 4-1s going up against each other, and what has turned out to be a wonderful rivalry in the last decade or so.
Yeah, they're doing well. Coach Parnell has them playing really well. I know, it'll be good to be back home. I couldn't see my sheet tonight. The lighting here is a little dark, but that I'm sure somebody will say something. But it'd be nice to get it home, and we don't have to travel very far, and just have our home crowd. And I know our kids like the turf, so and it's going to be a test. We see, and again, we see where we're at now against a good Castle team who beat Reed Springs, and I know Coach Parnell will play like he's the big dog in the game, but really, it's going to be a heck of a game. It's 2 pretty evenly matched teams going at it.
And like I said, a good rivalry in the last decade or so. Well, we wish you well in a week of preparation and getting ready for the Wildcats, and hopefully talk it over a week from now after another victory.
Thanks a lot.
Coach Ewell joining us in the postgame. We'll be back to wrap it up after this.
Other guy. See how they're pointing all that garbage, or they're how to get rid of it.
And the other guys?
Oh, so trash service. They'll talk trash. They don't waste any time getting to work. By the time guys from the other service get it figured out, they'll certainly have the job done.
So why would you
What else to get rid of your trash?
Beats me.
Doty Trash Service, serving Monette and surrounding towns. For weekly pickup you can depend on, or those bigger jobs, call Jim today. 78-1350.
For home sweet home. Or for condos, single wides and studios.